You're in my domain, got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. Why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory. For the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory. We do it for the glory. Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory. For the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory. We do it for the glory. You're the chaser, I'm the eraser. I ruin your record, I'm back here to break ya. I cut like a razor, so call the trophy engraver. I'm gonna get it, wait till I win it. God, I'm so glad to be in it. Can't wait to say that we did it. This is my life and I live it. Ready to give it my all when you fall back. Taking advantage of all that. Demons on average are so bad. Playing short and your team scratch. I knew a sense of the damages. I knew that you couldn't handle this. It takes a man to stand up to the king, and unfortunately you were bandages. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights for the glory. For the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory. We do it for the glory. This is why we do it. This is what we live for. We on top. We number one. Hands to the sky. Never back down. Never back down. You gotta know my name. You gotta know my name.
Whew. Welcome in, everybody. Let's go. Alright, we are hot. We're alive. We got it working today. So that means double dipping time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in on behalf of Ten Tenths Simracing and GT45 Gaming, your host this evening. We'd like to welcome you in for the GT45 Prototype Challenge, round number 4. We are going to start this evening off with a live race with our Pro-Am multi-split race here today. We'll do our podium interviews after said race, and then we'll jump right into that pro race that we missed last night and get the great action on the screen for everybody. I gotta tell you what, it was a doozy of a race last night for the pro lobby, and we're really sad that we didn't get it to you guys and gals watching at home live, so we do apologize, but we're up, we're running today, and we're ready to race. Only if all our drivers are going to make it, and I don't have to check Discord. Hey, what's up, Jay? Yeah, all right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are at Fuji International Speedway today. That means we are all the way over in Japan, and it is, again, dynamic weather model here in the series. This is one of those tracks that could very well produce some rain here today. Now, I'm going to say in the pro lobby last night, they had extremely nice conditions here at Fuji International Raceway, and they had a dry race last night. We'll have to wait and see what Fuji has in store for our Pro-Ams and our AMs today. It is 5 times tire wear, 4 times fuel consumption, so every time our Pro-Ams and our AMs rip one lap around this beautiful racetrack here today, they're going to use 5 laps worth of tires and 4 laps worth of fuel. Our track, Fuji International Speedway, 2.84 mile, 4.56 kilometer track, 16 left and right hand turns. It's a tarmac road surface. It's a real world circuit, meaning that they race on it every year in real life, and has an elevation change of approximately 131 feet. So, a little bit of a spicy track here today from Japan. And now we got to talk about what's most important, our GT45 Gaming Driver of the Day Awards from round number 3. So we are going to start with our Pro-Am driver, as this is a 2-division split here this Tuesday division lobby, and that means we have 2 DODs to go through. So let's get on with our first one. The first driver of the day is going to be Ten Tenths Simracing's Fast Ginger. So at Watkins Glen last week, he started off the race, qualified very well up into 3rd position. The race started, got sent a little bit wide into turn 1, took a penalty due to that, had to serve that penalty at the penalty serving zone on turn 1, fell all the way down into 12th position, and drove his way back up into the top 5. Ladies and gentlemen, so a remarkable recovery drive coming from Ten Tenths Fast Ginger, showing an outstanding performance for our Pro-Ams in round number 3 here from the GT45 Prototype Challenge, and is the GT45 Gaming Driver of the Day for last week, and will be awarded a bonus point for that award. Now, as I said, that is not our only Driver of the Day in this lobby. We have one more. We're going to go talk about our AM Driver of the Day here now, ladies and gentlemen. And again, for the 3rd week in a row, it is going to be Sugar Rush Racing. And this is an undeniable Driver of the Day award here. Now, the Driver of the Day award is designed to go to any driver in the field that shows an outstanding performance, whether that be a good comeback drive, a dominating start-to-finish race win. It could be a number of different things that could fall a driver into the category of this Driver of the Day award. Sugar Rush Racing showed that example last week in round number 3. He is an AM class driver at Watkins Glen, and he showed up. Our AM driver finished 3rd overall in the race, ladies and gentlemen. So our AM driver took the overall podium, which means he beat 7 Pro-Ams last week to get to that podium, and also secured his 3rd race victory for the AM division so far this season. So, I mean, undeniably so. And there was another driver in that discussion in week number 3, but unfortunately Sugar Rush Racing's outstanding performance did get him that award over the other driver. So congratulations to Sugar Rush Racing for just an outstanding performance in round number 3, taking overall podium as an AM driver in a very heavy Pro-Am lobby, and that is going to give him the GT45 Gaming Driver of the Day award for round number 3. So congratulations to Sugar Rush Racing, and the extra bonus point as well. Miss Devious coming in saying good luck to all the drivers. Absolutely. All right, so as you can see, drivers are all on track here. We're about 3 minutes away from qualifying. Now we have to do things a little bit differently here for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. After the most recent update, it has developed a funny little glitch in the game, and I'm not going to get into it too much because I don't really want to get into how this glitch works. But basically, you can override the balance or performance settings and tune your car. So, as a league, obviously, we've had to have a large discussion about that over the week leading into race time. And due to the simple fact that we feel that this is not going to be an immediate fix from Gran Turismo 7, unfortunately, for this particular issue, we did not decide to postpone the series. We're going to take a couple extra precautionary steps as we get ready to do our racing. So, with that being said, what's going to happen here tonight is we're going to see a double reset right at the qualifying time. It's going to be bam, bam, drivers need to check in, and we're qualifying. There's no time anymore to waste here. And that doesn't allow time for the potential advantage to be put into any of these racing cars. Now, with that being said, GT45 Gaming and Ten Tenths Simracing fully 150,000% trust our driving community, and that's not the issue. The issue is our fair play that we have in the series. So after a very lengthy discussion with all parties involved, we decided that we will continue to run the series, and if somebody tries to use that advantage, obviously there will be of the utmost serious consequence to follow it up with. But again, this driving community is not going to do that because they just come to race and have fun and put on a show for all you amazing viewers at home, and that's what we're going to see here tonight. So welcome in, everybody. It's going to be a family-friendly broadcast, so definitely can let the kitty sit in and watch, I promise. And we got a double race here for you guys and gals tonight because we're unfortunately not able to get that Pro Division to you, so we'll have that after our live Pro-Am race here tonight, and that will be via the production crew's replay that they sent over to me last evening. So appreciate our production crew here at GT45 Gaming. They always make sure we have a backup plan when things go wrong. All right, so we're 1 minute away, so I'm gonna just let these guys know what's going on here, and then if I could type today. All right, so we're just going to let the drivers absorb that information in real quick here, and then we're going to hit that double reset, and we're going to send this race off. So hopefully everybody's in front of the rigs because we're moving, we're grooving. Go Leafs go, says Joe. Good luck tonight, Joe. All right, so let's get that double reset going. We have a race control official here in the lobby as well with our racers there just to make sure that everything moves smoothly here this evening. And we'll get into that a little more. So it is fairly nice out on track currently right now as it stands. And that does mean that the driver should have good, nice qualifying conditions. However, once we reset the lobby, it's all bets are off. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here once we get the double reset in and see if that weather has changed at all. Of course, somebody ticked in already. They are listening very, very efficiently. We love that. We love that. There we go. Double reset. Wait for our drivers to all check in. We've got 14 drivers in the lobby, 12 of which are our racers here this evening. One is a race control official, aka Miss Devious, and of course myself, the host of the lobby this evening. So drivers are checking in, and we will get ready to get underway here. Don't need the readies. I need you guys to check in, please. One more. Alright, now we're good. We can't start things without all our drivers on track. Alright, drivers, good luck. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, to the big screen. Alright, let's rock and roll. So this is qualifying. It's going to be a 5-minute qualifying run here from our Pro-Am split division today, and our drivers are now just getting out on track, and I don't think that's Egon. I think that's Medic's car right there, but it told us it was Egon. So while he's coming out of pit lane, we will get all the information up on the screen, and we are starting under nice conditions here for our Pro-Ams as well today. So qualifying will be what appears to be nice conditions here today, and maybe that is Egon. He's in a different colored car here today. Very interesting. Alright. So we are on with 10 Tenths Simracing's Egon here to start off qualifying, and he will lead us out here. So it will be 5 minutes. The drivers will get basically 2 cracks at the best possible lap they can get here today, and then we will set the grid based off the fastest first to the slowest in the last. We'll start that grid for a 50-minute endurance race here today, 5-0, and our weather multiplier is 4 times. So essentially we're running approximately a 3-hour and 20-minute race worth of weather time here today in 50 minutes is essentially what that breaks down to. Alright, we're just going to catch up here real quick. We got GT45 Gaming coming in with the like, Nolander Beef now coming in with the like, and the shares, multiple shares. We got Derek Nolan coming in with the like as well. We got Greg Conti coming in with the like. We got Madeline Crow coming in with the like. We got Scott Arthur coming in with the like. We also would like to shout out Michelle Boyza. I hope I said that right. Becoming a follower here on the Facebook page as well yesterday. And I also want to give a huge shout out to the absolute best legend out there, Christopher Villiard, coming in with a $50 PayPal dono over the weekend. My man, appreciate that dono. Straight to the PC fund, my guy. We appreciate you. Let's get a hashtag Christopher up in the chats for the $50 PayPal dono. Absolute legend. Appreciate this community more than I can ever say. Egon here now on a flying lap here, so it's going to be Fast Ginger out 2nd, Kilt out 3rd, Scary Guy out 4th, Bandit out 5th, Cobra out 6th, Trone out 7th, and Medic out 8th here. We do have a 12-driver grid today. It's going to be 5 AMs and 7 of our Pro-Ams here today. So Egon is just heading through the middle part of the racetrack here, and we'll get in tune with our track map here in just a moment so we can get some corner names for everybody. But we'll have to wait until this race settles in a little bit here so I could take a moment to review that. Appreciate that hashtag there, Nolander, my guy. Alright, so it is Egon here as he comes around the final sector. This is a very difficult sector, this final sector of the racetrack, especially in this Toyota GR10 hypercar, which is the car that we are using in round number 4. We will see a different car next week in our mid-season special. That's right, so we got an extra 10-minute length on the race, and it's a double points round here for our drivers next week. So huge race at Le Mans coming from our class drivers here. But today it's all about Fuji International Speedway, and it is Egon leading the charge here in qualifying. Let's see what he's going to start us off with here. It's going to be a 29.027. Sorry, Ginger's going to take pole. Kilt is going to stay in 3rd. We got Scary Guy coming here next. Let's see what Scary Guy has here as he comes around. Scary Guy for you too, that is. And he's going to stay in 4th here for the time being. We got Bandit here in 5th. We got Dark Cobra going to move up into 4th place there. We got Medic coming across here next. He's in 8th place right now, and somebody jumped up in there. We just didn't see Medic moves up into 7th. We had Alpha come through there. Yeah, Superman here in 10th place. He's going to move up into 4th. We got TDC Gaming coming through. He's going to move up into 3rd. And we got Heathen coming through, and he's going to move up into 4th place. So a bunch of movers there at the end of the pack. So it is Fast Ginger in pole position currently with Egon in 2nd, TDC Gaming in 3rd, Heathen in 4th, Kilt in 5th, Superman in 6th, Lucky Alpha in 7th position. We got Trone here in 8th. We got Dark Cobra in 9th, making a little bit of a mistake there. We got Scary Guy in 10th place. We got Medic here in 11th. We got Bandit. Woo-hoo-hoo! Having a little moment there coming around the hairpin, but he gathers it up pretty good. And a very spicy car here is these Toyota GR10s again. These are hyper cars, so They are very quick, and the battery system is quite a bit different in this car compared to the Audi that we have been running this season. It lasts a lot longer, and this car is just a lot faster. So this car will almost see 200 miles an hour at the end of this straight by the time we head into the braking zone in turn 1, depending when the drivers shift into 7th gear. It is a cheat gear in this car, and it really gives you a huge amount of boost, and I'm not sure how many of the drivers are aware of that here. But it looks like Egon's going to get another crack at it here. Ginger's happy as he's improved his time. There was a 128.253. I think he blew the corner there is what we saw. Let's get in with this group right here. TDC Gaming, Heathen, Superman. These guys are all, we got killed here as well. Lucky Alpha improving his time there. He's going to stay in 7th place. Superman improves his time, stays in 6th there as well. Heathen's going to sit in pole position with a 128.131. They're going to steal that away from Fast Ginger on his last flying lap. We're going to sit with Kilt here right now as he is on his final flying lap here. Whether or not the timer will allow him to get this lap in, I guess, is yet to be determined. But we are going to stay with Kilt here. We have a couple of drivers still on a flying lap here. Looks like 3. And I think one of them may very well be... No, it is not Trone Covey. Alright, so we'll stick with Kilt here. We got the purple livery rocket and rolling here on the Toyota this week. And he's just got 2 corners left to go here, and a very long run to the start-finish line here to a shut qualifying off. I believe that's Egon actually just up in front of him here, and it is. So Egon's going to come around on his final run here, and I don't think it's going to be an improvement there for Egon. So let's jump to Kilt here and see what he's got. It's very close, and it's 29.7, so not quite an improvement there from Kilt either. So it is going to be Race Asylum's Heathen here in pole position with 10 Tenths Fast Ginger in 2nd place. Row 2 will be 10 Tenths Egon with TTC Gaming from Team Rad. In row number 3 is going to be 10 Tenths Kilt with RA's Superman right beside him. In row number 4 is going to be 10 Tenths Lucky Alpha with Trone Kobe from the Humble Guys Racing Team in 8th place. Row number 5 is going to be Dark Cobra, and that is going to be our top qualifier for AM. So pole position for Cobra here, Scary Guy rounding out in 10th place there. Kilty for president. So let's just take a quick look at these results here. We had Trone Kobe there in 8th position. Dark Cobra in 9th, Scary Guy in 10th, Medic in 11th, and Bandit in 12th place. So Dark Cobra will get that pole position point here, as we do not see Sugar Rush Racing here today. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing. We have to do this very quick. It's the only way to make sure that we do our due diligence as league organizers to make sure that the current issue in the game status right now isn't being used. So that is why we're doing this very quickly compared to normal here this evening. So we do apologize for that, but sometimes we just got to make do with what's being handed to us, and we got to work around the issue that's going on in the game. It's a significant issue, so we got to do what we got to do. But we're getting ready to go racing here. Kick them tires, light them fires. We're going racing, folks, live at Fuji Speedway, and we're green, green, green. And the pole sitter on the outside line here at Fuji coming into turn number 1. Now, we did see a red flag in our pro lobby there last night. We did have a reset. We got a little bit of contact there. We have a couple drivers that just went really deep into the corner. Oh boy, and now we got carnage. We got carnage. We're gonna have to call the red on this one here as well, ladies and gentlemen. And hopefully the drivers get it right next time around. Hey, Chihuahua. Good old Fuji. It never ever fails. This is going to be a red flag call for a multiple car incident into turn number 1, ladies and gentlemen. So we will reset that grid and we'll do it all over again. Alright, so while we're doing that, we are going to move it back over to this screen here for the time being. We're going to throw up our track map here for a moment while we get everybody off track and get the lobby reset and resorted. All right. Alright, we're just making some changes. We're trying to make some changes here, but drivers are checking in and out here for some reason. Alright, I have to set the grid now manually. Yes, me too, Aaron. Me too, buddy. Okay, I need drivers to check in quickly, please. I gotta do this as quickly as possible. There we go. Drivers are all checked in. These guys are on it. Where is Mr. Heathen? Heathen is our pole sitter here. We'll have Heathen right there, and then we've got Fast Ginger sitting in second place. From there, I have to take a look at my screenshots because I don't quite remember. Egon, TDC, killed Superman. Egon, Alpha Trone, Cobra Scary Guy. And there we go. Now, with the race reset, that means that the weather could have possibly changed. So it's a whole new ball game here. Alright, here we go again. Oh, way too late. Hopefully the drivers are on the right tires. Yeah, I think so. Alright, here we go. Restart number 2, ladies. Restart number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Looks good, goes. Fine work. You do appreciate you, Dad. Appreciate you, my guy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. Kick them tires, light them fires. Restart number 2. Hey, let's go. Alright, let's see if the drivers got this a little more. Now remember, battery, lots of things happening here, and we got a big pile up again coming into turn number 1 here, and this is just inexperience here from some of the drivers. You can see oh, we got Bandit sideways around the corner there. It's a little bit greasy, but we're going to let this one ride. We're going to let this one ride. Because we don't have cars with damage here. That's the big thing. So we do have a couple drivers on the back foot. However, that is all right. They are going, and it looks like it was TDC Gaming making a mistake there coming into turn number 1, and that's not ideal for TDC Gaming here, as he is challenging right now the top 3 here in this championship. So he is down to the back of the pack. We've got it sorted out, and we are racing here now, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it is dynamic weather. Rain could potentially be in play here today. The drivers, it's anybody's guess. It's anybody's guess. We got Ginger in the lead of the race. We got Superman up into second place. Superman making some quick moves. We got Tron Kobe there in third. We Kilt in fourth. Lucky Alpha in fifth. We got Scary Guy in sixth. Egon in seventh. We got Cobra in eighth. We got Heathen down into ninth place there. So I think he got caught up in that exchange into turn 1 there as well. We got Medic here in 10th position. Bandit here in 11th, and TDC here in 12th place. So it is going to be a little bit interesting over the next 15 minutes here. This is a very spicy car, and tire wear is going to be a very significant factor here today. And of course, we have that question mark on whether or not the weather is going to cooperate with our drivers here today as well. So lots of things on the back of the minds of our drivers. The pit crews are behind the scenes. You know that they're definitely going to be in radio communication with those drivers to make sure that they're informed on what the weather is doing, and of course what those gaps are in between each other on the racetrack. So we got Lucky Alpha here in fifth. Let's get back through our grid. Here's 10 Tenths Fast Ginger currently sitting in the lead, 1.8 seconds ahead of RA Superman. He's got Tron Colby tracking right there in third place. We've got 10 Tenths Kilt in fourth position with teammate Lucky Alpha right in behind. Got Dark Cobra here in sixth position with Heathen now starting to track back in here after that turn 1 little debacle, and now back up into P7 here. We've got Medic now in 8th place, so our second place AM driver. We've got Egon here in 9th, and he got caught up in that exchange as well. So our front runners, with the exception of Ginger, all getting shuffled down to the back of the pack here, and they're going to have to slowly but surely find their way back up through the field here. So a little bit of a shaky race start here from the lobby today, but again, with that mixed lobby, the Pro-Ams and the AM mixture in there, that is going to be expected from time to time. And Fuji is not a very easy race starting track either, with a very long straight and some very powerful race cars coming into it at race start. So here we go. We're moving now, and everybody's on their paces. So it is Fast Ginger with a quick lead here over Superman, but we have quite a bit of tire difference here on track as far as the drivers go selecting their tires. Now, the deal is with the tire mandate this season, after we had a big discussion after a little bit of a mix-up here early on in the season, is that you need to run each tire for a mandatory 3 laps. So that means if you start the race on the medium tires, for example, then you have to pit at the end of lap 3 to run that. Now, that does include out laps and in laps as well. So even if it's in the middle of the race, you decide to choose to take a medium tire stint in the middle of your race, you could pit, say, on the lap at the end of lap 10, run lap 11, lap 12, come in on lap 13, pit. That will also clear your tire mandate. You can see a battle here between Trone and Superman there, and there's a little bit of contact there between the two of them, and I think Superman just gave the position up there, figuring maybe that contact was his fault. I think that's what we've seen there, but now that's allowed Kilt to close in very quickly here on Superman, and that's going to potentially maybe allow Kilt to get a move done here coming into the S's, but Kilt is just going to settle in 4th place here, right in behind Superman as we come around the corner. And this is the toughest sector for these race cars, I think, in my opinion. It's a very tight, slow, technical area of the racetrack, and I mean, these cars just want to zip in a straight line and go very, very fast. So they're not exactly cornering cars, these Toyota GR10s, but they're definitely built for speed. So this is an interesting track car combo for the drivers here this season with this car and Fuji, and we'll see this car one more time here yet this season as well, but they'll be in a couple of rounds from now. So we've got Lucky Alpha and Heathen here now in 5th and 6th place, and Heathen is just sitting in the slip here. He's going to give him a push. Nope, he was just waiting for Alpha to kind of decide which lane he was going to choose there. Alpha's going to keep him a little bit short here as we head into turn number 1, though, and just try to squeeze his line as much as he can. He's going to go really late onto the brakes there. Heathen is going to maintain the inside position there. He's going to come out a little bit wide there, and he's going to get the job done there on Alpha. And very good job there by those two coming through turn number 1. It's going to be Heathen now up into 5th place there. So it's Dark Cobra here in 7th position. Has it dialed in. I've raced him enough to know he can put it all together. He's been doing pretty well here so far this season for sure in the Pro-Am division as well. We've got Egon here in 8th place. We've got TDC Gaming in 9th position. We've got Medic here in 10th place. And I believe that is our 2nd place AM drivers. So how we tell which class of driver they are here in this lobby specifically, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are trying to see how I can tell that, besides the fact that I just know the drivers that well and know it based off memory, but for the viewers at home and for the racetrack fans that are at track watching, there's a couple of distinguishing things here. So let's jump to 10 Tenths Fast Ginger's car here. You can see that he's got the GT45 LMP1 banner right behind the front wheel there, and it's in blue here on the racetrack. We'll see if we can get a close-up here as Ginger goes by the camera guy here as he's on the back straight. And they've also got that banner on the very top of the windshield on the roof as well in that color coordination. So for those that are sitting in the stands, as you see we go by the grandstands here on lap number 5, they can also tell which driver, which class of driver it is. So we got Tron Kobe here. He's got the blue sticker. That also makes him a Pro-Am. Superman here with the blue sticker makes him the Pro-Am. We've got Kilt with the blue sticker there as well. We've got TT's Lucky Alpha here, and he's battling it out with Dark Cobra here right now. He's got Egon right in behind there, and a little bit of a touch there between the two as Lucky comes in. And oh boy, Cobra just a little bit of a over throttle there on the curbing, and he just keeps that car underneath of him. So Alpha here also with the blue sticker. That means that he's also the Pro-Am. We got Egon now making the pass on Dark Cobra there as well, also a Pro-Am driver. But now we have our AM leader, and you can see on the side of his car there he's got a green sticker. So the green signifies our amateur division, the blue signifies our Pro-Am division, and red signifies our Pro division. And we will not see any red cars in this lobby, but we will see the Pro division go later tonight after this race is concluded. So TDC Gaming now starting to track back up here. He's up in the 9th place. We got Scary Guy here in 10th place. 2nd overall in the AM division. We've got Medic here 3rd place in the AMs, and we got Bandit here in 4th place in the AM division, rounding out the field here right now. And all our AM drivers this season are brand new here to the series as well. So Bandit is a returning driver from an existing TMJ season, I think a couple seasons ago, but first crack at these high downforce cars for himself, and also the rest of the AM drivers here in the field as well. Scary Guy may have a little bit more experience with him. He may be the more experienced of the AMs, but for the most part our AMs are all very, very new to this type of racing with these high downforce cars this season, so we love to see him out there competing with the Pro-Ams like Sugar Rush Racing did at Watkins last week. So it is Superman here in 4th position, and he's got Heathen now up into 3rd place. So Heathen went all the way down. Oh, we got a mistake there from, it looks like Kilt in the background there. Little throttle error coming out of turn number 1, and we're going to see that a couple of times from these guys. And he's just trying to get his car turned around in a safe manner. He's making sure that there's no traffic oncoming. He is aware that Scary Guy is coming around the corner. You can tell by how he reacted there. And Kilt's crew is definitely on it there, as Medic now taking a look up the inside here, going to try, or Egon, sorry, no, that is Medic. 2 orange cars, this isn't fair. Here in 10th place, trying to get that position on Kilt. He's going to get a nice run there in through the sweeping corner there, leading into the hairpin, because of course dirty tires there on TT kill a car, and Medic there getting it a little bit wrong there too, and losing it a little bit under throttle there, and that should allow Alpha to slip on through there up into 10th place with that little mistake there from Medic as well. And the drivers are moving up and down the field here in the mid-pack. We've seen that a lot in the Pro Division last night as well. There was lots of battling happening in that mid-pack last night, and a little bit of just the self-induced mistakes here currently right now. But as the drivers start to settle into this car, we're going to definitely start seeing these battles develop on the racetrack here. Egon here in 5th. We got Dark Cobra up into 6th. We've got Scary Guy here in 7th position as he comes around. So the AMs are doing quite well here so far early on in the race. But I said, as each driver kind of makes these little individual mistakes in certain parts of the racetrack, that is kind of changing the position of these drivers around the racetrack, as other drivers are just picking up positions as those guys are kind of recollecting themselves and getting themselves back in the right direction of the racetrack, so to speak. Let's get a hashtag Madeline up in the Facebook chat, ladies and gentlemen. She just came in with a $660 PayPal donation towards the PC fund here at GT45 Gaming. You heard me correctly, ladies and gentlemen. I need to see that hashtag Maddie up in the chat. Let's get some hearts up in the chat. Let's get some trophies up in the chat. That's, my God, my dear, you're a legend. I appreciate you so much. We are most certainly going to talk about this later, but massive donation coming into the PayPal here from GT45 Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. $660 donation towards that PayPal, towards that PC here from GT45 Gaming. I got tears in my eyes. I really do appreciate this community. Thank you guys so much. Really, really do appreciate that, for real. All right, Medic here in 10th place. Let's get it back together. TDC Gaming here in 11th. We got Bandit here in 12th. This community is top level, ladies and gentlemen. We really do appreciate this whole community, viewers and drivers alike. Really, we do. Fast Ginger here in the lead of the race. We got Heathen here in the 2nd position. We've got Trone Kobe here in 3rd place. We've got Superman in 4th position. We've got Egon up in 5th place. We've got Dark Cobra, our AM leader, currently overall 6th place here in this race as well. He's having a crazy race here tonight for himself. Scary Guy for you too, right in behind him here in 7th place, but he is being tracked down here by 10 Tenths Lucky Alpha here right now, and this is not a divisional battle for position, but this is an overall positional battle here on the racetrack. So there is no orders, in a sense, so to speak, for this race. Obviously, if a driver is in a blue flag situation, then they do have a series of steps that is to be followed in order to allow the lead lap cars to get through. But as far as the overall positional battles between our AMs and our Pro-Ams go during active live racing here this season, it is all for all. They can fight, they can battle, they can do whatever it is that they choose to do for this overall position, and that's the best thing about multi-class racing. So they do not need to give this position up to those Pro-Am drivers. So in the case of Scary Guy right now, that's got Lucky Alpha applying all kinds of pressure to him here. Scary Guy doesn't need to consider moving out of the way, say coming out of this corner onto the straight to give that position to Alpha. If Alpha wants that position, he is going to have to earn that position and do it the right way. He's going to have to work and pass Scary Guy for you in order to get that position. So there's no orders here in this division, so to speak. So when a Pro-Am comes up to an Am or an Am comes up to a Pro-Am, they don't have to consider that. Obviously, being aware of what driver you're battling with on the racetrack does ultimately matter to some extent or another based off your race strategy, depending on how the race is unfolding and depending on where you're sitting and where your opponents are sitting. But at the end of the day, overall position for the Ams is important, because the higher up this grid they get, that's the points they get towards our overall championship standing. So, for example, right now with Dark Cobra currently leading our AM Division drivers, he's not going to get first place points. He's not going to get 32 points for an AM Division win. He's going to get all the points based off of the position that he finishes in this Pro-Am split lobby. So if he currently finishes in 6th right now where he is, I believe that's 22 points in the standings, he'll earn 22 points towards his AM standing. So it's where our amateur drivers finish overall in the race is going to be based off the points that they're getting overall for their standings this season. And it's going to be very interesting to see where the AMs shake up in the Pro-Ams once the season ends as well, because some of these Pro-Ams, some of our AM drivers have really been doing a great job of keeping pace with the Pro-Am field here this season. And there we go, battle for position here between Alpha and Scary Guy, and a little bit of contact there between the two. Both made a mistake, went a little bit wide to the corner there, but nothing too crazy there. Just a little paint swapping, and they both continue on the road. Alpha up at 7th, Scary Guy in 8th. We got TDC Gaming here coming now in 9th place, trying to catch the back end of those two drivers, and he's got Medic right in behind here as well. And it looks like we got another Cleveland Browns livery here on track as well. So we have another Cleveland Browns fan up in the house here, so him and Tron are gonna get along just fine. So we got Scary Guy, first driver to make a pit stop here tonight. It's gonna be Bandit here coming around in 10th place. We got Kilt here in 12th. Now I am gonna note that it has gotten fairly dark on the racetrack since the race starts. So it was fairly sunny out when we started the race off here today. Top notch souls, I want that livery. Wouldn't count out Heathen. This is his favorite track. Facts of life right there. We do know that from Heathen. But it is Fast Ginger currently with a commanding lead. 11 seconds ahead of Tro and Kobe right now here in 2nd place. We've got RA's Heathen tracking though in 3rd position. And Superman here in 4th place. So Heathen started in pole, got caught up in the turn 1 debacle there, ended up somewhere around 9th or 10th place at the end of that, and now currently sits back up into 4th place here. Egon, much of the same thing, qualified in 3rd place, now back up into 5th place. But Dark Cobra here qualifying in the pole position for the AM drivers, currently leading the AM drivers, and currently 6th overall on the racetrack here as well. So having a fantastic race here today for himself. And he is brand new to these LMP1 machinery, just like a lot of our drivers are here this season, and learning as he goes. So Alpha coming into pit lane here now, and that is going to give TDC now 7th place here. And Heathen's also in pit lane there as well, so TDC is actually going to grab a couple of spots as he goes around there. Medic's going to come around, should grab a spot on Alpha here. We'll have to wait and see. Yes, he is going to grab that spot on Alpha, but Heathen does come out ahead here. So the deal is now, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump on Lucky Alpha's car here as he's getting fuel. The drivers are going to be coming out of pit lane right in hot lap traffic, right? So this is actually the inside part of the corner here. So the drivers coming out of pit lane on the right to the inside part of the racetrack there. Lucky Alpha made a little bit of a mistake there coming in, came in a little bit too hot there, and as Kilt was coming down there, if Kilt was side by side with Lucky in that instance, for example, Kilt would have had to hold the outside line there, as Alpha was entitled to the inside line. Now, however, that probably wouldn't have worked out so well in that situation, as Alpha coming out with those cold tires and just a little bit deep into the corner there. But in that case, it wasn't the case, as Alpha was out ahead. So Kilt just pulls right in behind his teammate there, and these guys now starting some pit stop sequences here. But it is Fast Ginger in the race lead. Tron Kobe here in 2nd position, with Superman now up in 3rd place. We have Egon here in 4th place, Dark Cobra right there in 5th, and Egon's coming into pit lane here, and Cobra's going to remain out We've got TDC Gaming here now in 6th, and he's got Heathen tracking right up his rear bumper here after a pit stop. So essentially Heathen is in a great spot here right now as he is chasing TDC Gaming down right now, and he is a pit stop in hand, so to speak. So we've seen lots of 2 stops last night from our pro division. I can definitely tell you guys that much here. You'll get to see it for yourselves in a little bit of time, but we also should expect to see probably a 2-stop strategy coming from our Pro-Am division here today as well. Now, the only thing that may change that overall strategy decision, of course, is going to be the unknown factor of the weather. So we got Bandit here from 10 tenths up into 8th place. You can see that car wiggling under the braking as these drivers are just absolutely slamming on those binders trying to get these things to slow down from 190 plus miles an hour. Got Scary Guy for you here in 9th place. We got Lucky Alpha in 10th. We killed there in 11th place. We got Medic in pit lane here in 12th position. And he's just coming out here right now. So not quite through our first round of pit stops here quite yet. We still have our front end leaders here as Fast Ginger's coming in right now. As we say that, should see probably the majority of them coming in here this lap or next. We've got Tron Kobe now coming in. We got Superman is also going to be coming in. Is Cobra going to decide to come in? It looks like Cobra is going to stay out now. He is on a different tire compound than those guys, so that is actually going to put our AM driver potentially up in the race lead here as he comes around the start finish line on lap number 13. Let's see if he grabs that position, and there we go. We now officially have an AM driver leading this Pro-Am multi-class race here, and it is TPC's Dark Cobra, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look at him go. Love to see it. We love to see the improvement from the drivers as they go race to race as well. And this is not an easy combination for the drivers this season, and he's doing a really exceptional job here right now. But Fast Ginger chasing him down after that pit stop. So our race leader, when he pit in, gave it up there to Dark Cobra, who will still owe a pit stop here, keep in mind as well, at some point ahead of Ginger there. So I guess it all depends on the situation when Ginger catches him and whether or not he's going to pass him or just sit in behind him. But it's Heathen here up into 4th place. We got TDC Gaming in 5th. We got Superman in 6th. Egon in 7th. Scary Guy in 8th with Bandit right behind at 9th place. We got Alpha coming in on those two here in 10th position right now as he comes around. And he's got 10 tenths kilt right in behind him here in 11th place. And we got Medic 22 seconds in behind here. So again, spicy cars here. Got caught up in some pit exit traffic and battling for positions last night. Oh, facts. TT's Fast Ginger now in the lead here, so he has gotten around Dark Cobra. That didn't take very long, but he is out on a fresh set of racing soft tires. Cobra's out on a semi getting to be worn set of medium tires at this point here right now on the racetrack. We got Tron Kobe out here in 3rd place with Heathen tracking in 4th position. We got TDC Gaming here in 5th place. We got Superman up in 6th position. We got Egon in 7th. Bandit and Lucky Alpha battling it out here for 8th place, and Kilt is closing in on this fight here as well, and this is now a what looks to be a 4-way battle here for position. And Bandit gets it a little bit wrong there, but he manages to keep the car in a straight line on that curbing, so that was a good job there because that is very slippery on the outside edge of the final corner there. And Alpha is going to get the job done there as they head into turn number 1. So Alpha does take the race lead away, or take 8th place away from Bandit there. And Bandit is going to take a look, get some clean air into that race car. And side-by-side action here. Oh, and he goes a little bit deep. A little bit of contact there on Alpha, and that's going to allow Scary Guy and Kilt to charge back in. Alpha's going to get around there. And now Bandit finds himself with Scary Guy for you right in the review mirror here. So, a little bit wide there. Scary Guy makes a good exit there, but Bandit does have the inside line there. He catches the track edge here, and it is a little bit of rubbins racing between those two there. And Kilt is just sitting there right in the middle of it all here right now. You can see him just taking a little bit of a wide berth there. He was just kind of letting that exchange happen between the two drivers and just making sure that he didn't get caught up in it. And here we go as we go around into the sweeping corner leading into the chicane. This takes us into the final sector of the racetrack here. This is a very difficult sector here. So we are going to stick on with Kilt in this backpack here, as this is a good healthy battle right now. Scary Guy takes a look at the inside of Kilt there. A little bit of contact between the two, but Kilt does defend the position coming out of the corner. And now as we're heading into the final couple corners of the lap here, let's see if Kilt can get a run and get around the final AM driver here to continue tracking in behind Lucky Alpha for Pro-Am position here, and as Kilt comes around the corner, he takes a great line through the corner there. He was definitely looking for big exit out of that out of the corner, and the great thing about the final corner here at Fuji Speedway really is the multiple lines you can take through the corner. There's about 3 or 4 different angles you can approach that corner from, and we've seen 3 different lines from all 3 drivers as they all came through that final corner together. So we got Bandit going on the defense here as we come around into turn number 1. Kilt's going to be looking for a big switcheroo here. Can he get it down? We were reading that. Oh, and Scary Guy tried to do the same thing, and he's going to go for a ride there. So slide into the wall. He is going to hit that wall nose first. So he'll get himself corrected back around on the track there, and he'll get himself moving. He'll have a little bit of damage, but it will go away after 30 seconds. And Kilt and Bandit here side by side for 9th position here, and Bandit holding out top 10 here right now, and I believe that has him 2nd overall in our AM division here today as well, as it sits currently on the racetrack. So Kilt does get the job done and continues to track up the racetrack. So let's get back up front. Let's go see what is happening through the field here. We've got 10 Tenths Fast Ginger, and his lead is diminishing a little bit here. So it was 12 seconds before the pit stop sequence happened. Now we're down to 8.5 seconds, and it is RA's Heathen closing in. Now this is probably one of Heathen's favorite racetracks, and with high downforce cars, he is like a kid in a candy store. So he's definitely looking for a good result here today. We've got Superman here in 3rd place. We got Trone Kobe very close behind there, just 2.2 seconds and closing in 4th place. With that little mistake coming into turn 1 there from Superman. We've got TDC Gaming here in 5th place. He's got 4 seconds to Trone, and he's only got about 1.8 seconds in behind him from Egon as well, tracking. We've got Dark Cobra here in 7th position, currently leading the AM division. And we've got Lucky Alpha about 10 seconds in behind here, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do to catch up to Cobra there, but he is starting to track. We got Bandit here in 9th place. Kilt is coming into pit lane here now, and that puts him down into 11th. The Scary Guy tracks through there, and Medic is coming through. Will also grab that position there from TT Kilt. So the racetrack has gotten very sunny here again, so it is a emotional roller coaster ride for our racing soft and racing medium tires underneath this Toyota GR10 hypercar today. It's cool track temperatures, and then it's warm track temperatures, and then it's cool, and then it's warm. So the tires are at moments feeling great, getting all kinds of grip with those cooler track temperatures, and then as this track starts to heat back up, they start to feel good for a little while, but then they start to fall off a little bit quicker, because obviously more heat in the racetrack is going to result in more tire wear on these soft and medium racing tires here today. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the drivers continue to manage the transition of our track temperatures and our changing conditions. But not only that, the wind playing a huge factor here as well in the race. It is constantly changing directions, I've been noticing here so far in the race today. I haven't seen crazy heavy winds here so far, but when you're used to your nose or you're a push of the wind in a certain corner, and then you come into that corner and all of a sudden the wind has changed direction, and now you're not getting that push. All of a sudden you're maybe going a little deep into the braking zone. Those are adjustments that the drivers are going to have to make on the fly as this race shakes down. So the wind is ever changing, the weather is ever changing here on the racetrack, which means the racetrack is ever changing as well on the drivers. So there's Dark Cobra here in 7th position, currently leading the AM division right now. We've got Lucky Alpha 10.3 seconds in behind. We've got Bandit here in 9th place now. We've got Scary Guy here in 10th. We've got Medic in 11th position, and we've got Kilty here rounding out our field in 12th place. But it is 10 Tenths Fast Ginger here, still managing a 10-second gap here right now. So he's actually opened the gap up to RA's Heathen a little bit in this last lap here. So a mistake potentially made from Heathen at some point here on the racetrack, and we've seen a huge cloud of dust coming up into turn number 1 there. So Fast Ginger starting to track in on, I believe it's Kilt, just up ahead of him there. We've got Heathen now coming across, and he lost 1.5 seconds there that lap around. So definitely a little mistake made at some point in the racetrack there. And Superman starting to track in now on this battle as well. 18 seconds is the gap to the race leader here from our 3rd place driver. Patron Colby is still right there, 3.5 seconds in behind Superman. Superman's been doing a good job at just keeping that gap nice and cushy, not letting Tron get too close here to make something happen. Got Egon in 5th place. It's a 6.5 second gap there to him, with Dark Cobra in 6th place here with the pit stop from TDC Gaming. And again, this driver's having a pretty good race here for himself so far tonight. We've got 10 Tenths Lucky Alpha here in 7th place, and he is still trying to close in on Dark Cobra there. So I gotta say, Dark Cobra is showing some pretty good pace here in this lobby today as an AM driver. Now, he qualified as an AM. We placed him in Pro AM for the first couple of races because I know the driver a little bit, but was really unsure how unfamiliar with the LMP1 cars he was. So we let him run a couple of races with the Pro Am sticker, and then decided that he was better suited with this AM division here this season. Of course, we discussed that with the driver. He was all for it. Now he's here battling for his first season win here in this AM division, but there's plenty of racing left yet. We're only 27.5 minutes off the clock, so that is going to leave us with 23 minutes, 22.5 minutes left to go here in our race today. We're going to see yet another set of stops from most of our drivers as well. We had a driver, I believe, attempt a one-stop last night, and we'll just say that we have one driver who attempted a one-stop last night. I don't want to say how it went or what happened. You guys will see in about another 45 minutes time or so here, maybe less. We got Kilt here in 11th place. We got Bandit here in 12th place after making a pit stop. So some of these drivers have made their secondary pit stops as well. Alright, I do apologize. My phone's been going crazy here last couple of days here. Lots going on here in behind the scenes with the page, and of course a little bit of technical malfunctions we're having with our equipment right now. It's just been a very busy time here at GT45 Gaming. We got Ten Tenths Simracing here up into 5th place. We got Dark Cobra moving and grooving in 6th. He is absolutely flying tonight. We've got Lucky Alpha here in 7th. We got TDC here in 8th place. We got Scary Guy in 9th. Medic here in 10th position. We've got Ten Tenths Kilt in 11th, and we got Bandit rocking and rolling there in 12th place, and I believe that is RA's Heathen closing in on him here, our 2nd place driver it is. So this is what we call a blue flag situation. Now, the driver will not see those blue flags being waved here today because we've actually turned the flagging rules off for the series. And that's just so we don't forget these drivers picking up that 3-second penalty for passing under caution. That the game is very inconsistent with that penalty, and sometimes we'll give you that penalty for passing the driver that is causing the caution. And I mean, that driver typically is usually off the racetrack and not even interfering with the race at that point. So we've turned it off just due to the nature of the speed of the cars. To avoid any unnecessary penalties to the drivers that, of course, need to be then somehow sorted out in behind the scenes post-race from our race officials, and that's just a whole lot of unnecessary mess and work that we just don't need to have. So we turn the flag rules off, and you can see the drivers are more than aware of what the deal is there. You can see Heathen and Bandit did a great job of exchanging that position from lead lap car to blue flag car there, and Heathen continues up the track there, and Bandit continues on with his race there as well. So it was a great job there by those two. But the deal is, if you're in a technical circuit, you are allowed to hold a racing line as the blue flag car. As soon as you get out of that technical circuit, it is expected that you pull off the racing line and just lift on your throttle just a tiny little bit to allow that lead lap car just enough time to get through cleanly, and you can pull right back in behind that lead lap car if you choose. Now, it also does state that they are allowed to race the leader for that lead lap position if they choose to do so, but that is a risk versus reward decision. And if you do cause an incident with the lead lap car due to that fact, then obviously that will not bode well in our stewarding office post-race. So the drivers are doing a great job all season long so far with the blue flag situations, and that was another example of it right there on the racetrack. So very aware are our racers here, and it's TDC and Lucky Alpha here in 7th and 8th place. So TDC is on the move here again. Got 12-second gap to 9th place right now, so really his focus is on that pink LMP1 up in front here, Lucky Alpha. And you can see the gap there. It's just half a second here right now, but Alpha's actually going to jump in to make a pit stop there, so TDC is actually going to get that position uncontested there and move himself up into 7th place with that pit stop from Ten Tenths Lucky Alpha here. So some of our drivers now starting to make that final pit stop sequence here as we continue on with our Pro-Am race here, but it is Fast Ginger in the race lead. It's Heathen here in 2nd place, and Superman in 3rd position. Is Tro and Kobe here in 4th place. It's Egon in 5th. We've got Dark Cobra here in 6th position. We've got TDC here in 7th place, and Alpha still in pit lane there. We got Medic coming through now, and going to grab a couple positions with a couple drivers in pit lane there as well, moving himself up into 8th place currently. Kilt is coming around there. Should grab a couple of spots. Going to grab one there. He's going to come right back in behind Lucky Alpha as he comes towards turn number 1 there. So he settles right back in behind his teammate. We got Scary Guy here still in 11th position. He's just coming out there, and Bandit is going to come out very close beside him here. So this could potentially be a battle coming out of pit lane, but Scary Guy does get out just before. Bandit having a little bit of a braking error there coming into the corner, has to collect himself back up, and you can see Superman's just coming around there with Tro and Kobe as well. So again, some blue flag situations here starting to encroach a little bit in our race today. Obviously we're going to potentially see that from our pro-ams going around our ams from time to time here in the series as well. A little bit of a difference in pace, obviously, so we will see blue flag situations throughout these races, and also just drivers having rough days as well. Sometimes the racer has a tough day and ends up being just being a car on track sometimes, and it happens to the best of us on the best of days. Alright, so Superman has gotten around Bandit there. You can see Trone's just working through there as well. Bandit again just doing a great job, just pulling off the racing line there, just letting off the throttle a little bit, letting those two go through, and nobody really losing any time there. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Got Dark Cobra now up into 5th place here overall, but looking like he's going to have to make one more stop yet. We still got 16.5 minutes on the clock, and I don't think he's got the fuel load to run the clock down, but in a very, very good position here right now. It's Ethan into 2nd place. We got Superman chasing here in 3rd place, and Tro Kobe is right there. He is just half a second in behind there. A little bit of dirty wash there from Superman in front there. As you can see, he was in his line nice and tucked in, was going to get a run there, and then Superman kind of came across the front end of the car. That changed the air that was getting into that aerodynamic spoiler on the front end of that hypercar. You can see Tron shot a little bit wide there, and that is just that dirty air wash that we see in racing. So it is difficult to manage there. And it looks like we've got Medic right there now as well, and you can see he's just doing the right thing there. He's just going to move out of the way there. Oh, I think Tron didn't realize that he had slowed down that much to let him through there, and almost clipped him there. That was very, very close. But great job there by all the drivers. We got Dark Cobra now in pit lane here, and we're going to be seeing this final series of pit stops happening here within this lap or the next lap here, I think, for most of our drivers. A lot of the drivers gambling on the fact that there was going to rain here today, and starting on those soft tires. We've seen that in the Pro Division last night as well, and that means those drivers are going to have to finish this race on those medium racing tires. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for everybody. But we got a big jumble of cars going on in the mid-pack here right now, as everybody's kind of sorting themselves out after that final pit stop sequence. So we've got our race leader now in pit lane, and we're having little battles here starting to develop all up and down the racetrack here in our final racing stint. So it's just under 15 minutes to go. Our race leader comes in, Heathen comes in, Superman is going to go another lap here, Tron is going to come in. So Superman going to try and pick up a little bit of time gain here with an overcut, as he's going to go around one more time, take the race lead here for a lap as well. We got TDC Gaming here in 5th place, and he pit a little while ago, but I don't know if he's got enough fuel for 14.5 minutes in that race car right now. We've got Egon here in 6th place, and he looks like he's set up to the end. So is Cobra, so is Alpha. Kilt is also looking set up to the end here. We got Scary Guy ready to go to the end, it looks as well. Bandit as well, and Medic there as well. So looking like the back half of our field is ready to run this race to the end here. We're just awaiting on our race leaders here now at this point. We've got Superman, the only driver remaining to make that final pit stop here, and maybe he's seen something that the other drivers weren't aware of. Maybe there was something that blipped up on the weather radar and the crew communicated something with them. Maybe the crew told him to take an extra lap around just to see if weather was going to come in before the scheduled pit stop, because that could obviously change what tire goes on this racing car. So it doesn't look like, though, that we're seeing anything as far as moisture goes on the racetrack here. But again, it is kind of playing a little bit here. It's a little overcast on the racetrack right now. The wind is changed a little bit of direction here again. We do have Superman now coming in to make his pit stop, but you can see Fast Ginger is very, very close in behind there. Was only 4 seconds in behind Superman there, so it's going to easily take the race lead back from Superman. Heathen is coming around here. He's still got the final corner to go here before he can see if he's going to leapfrog Superman. And then we've got Tron and TDC Gaming just tracking in behind here as well. So let's see if the overcut works out for Superman here. He was ahead of Tron Kobe before the pit stop sequence happened here. Tron is just coming around right now, so I guess the bigger question is how much fuel does Superman need and how long is he going to be in pit lane for as Fast Ginger comes around with that race lead. RA's Heathen is going to take second place, and Tron Kobe is going to move up into third place. Superman's going to come out as fourth place there as he comes out, and Egon's coming down the start finish line here at speed in fifth position. And we've got our AM driver Dark Cobra here in sixth place overall, leading that AM race here today. We've got Team Rad's TDC Gaming. He's in getting that last pit stop, getting ready to push his final section of the race here. We got Lucky Alpha coming around, and he's not going to come out ahead of TDC, but he's definitely going to gain some time on him there. Got 10 Tenths Kilt here in 9th position. We got Scary Guy for you in 10th place here, second overall in our AMs here today. We've got Medic in 3rd place for our AM division here today. We got Bandit rounding out our field here, not too far in behind our 3rd place AM driver there, Medic as well. So that is a battle for divisional placement between those two drivers, but it is Fast Ginger here right now with the race lead, and it is a comfortable one by 20 seconds here currently on the racetrack right now over RA's Heathen. And I do suspect that if Heathen didn't get caught up in the turn 1 incident on the race restart there, that this would be a much different race between him and Fast Ginger, I think, right now on the racetrack. And Tron Kobe potentially here as well now in 3rd position. So don't count Tron Kobe out yet. 21 seconds is the gap to Fast Ginger up in front of him here. We've got Superman here in 4th place, and he is only about 8 seconds in behind 2nd place there as well. And the two drivers do have a tire advantage over 1st and 2nd place here in this race. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can reel him in here with about a little over 10 minutes remaining here. Alpha in 7th place. We've got TDC here in 8th. We've got Kilt in 9th position. We've got Scary Guy here in 10th place. We've got Medic in 11th, and we got Bandit rounding out the field here in 12th place. So all our drivers still on track here as well. The Pro-Ams have been great this season. The crews have been keeping these cars in pristine condition here for these drivers. We did have Scary Guy having a couple of disconnects here in the last couple of weeks, so we're hoping that that is much better for him here this week. And we had Bandit have a steering issue in his car last week, but it seems like they have got that sorted out, and he's not seeming to be having those issues here today. So there's Superman here in 4th position with Egon in 5th place. We've got Dark Cobra here in 6th position. We've got Alpha here in 7th place. We've got TDC here in 8th place. We've got Kilty in 9th position. We've got Scary Guy here in 10th place. We've got Medic in 11th, and we got Bandit here in 12th. And right now, with 10 minutes to go, I'm already thinking about who we're going to be potentially passing the Driver of the Day award to for round number 4 here, and I think I've got it locked down already. Alright, so it's RA's Heathen and Tron Kobe here. This is a battle for 2nd place between the two drivers. It's not an immediate battle right now, but as this race continues to draw to an end here, we're at 9 minutes to go. You can see Tron Kobe is definitely dipping in to that gap. Now, Heathen does have Bandit up in front here. He may be able to utilize that AM driver to his advantage, try to put a car in between him and Tron Kobe right now, but Tron Kobe sees what's happening up in front here, and he's like, oh no, we're not going to let that happen. I'm just going to get nice and close here, so when you go through, I'm going to make sure that I follow you through, and this battle is going to continue. But Heathen doing a great job here at maintaining that half-second gap here right now ahead of Tro and Colby. And again, they're just closing in on 10 Tenths Bandit here, and it looks like Medic just up ahead there as well. So, ooh, he's with the big power down right there. He's gonna have to tuck back into the slipstream there, Bandit. If he would have got a clean exit there, he would have been able to probably drag race Bandit down into turn 1, but instead he's gonna have to use a little bit of slipstream here to get the position going into turn 1. And I guess the bigger question is Tro and Colby gonna have enough closing speed to also follow Heathen through here? He is going to have that speed. A little bit of a tap there on Heathen, actually, as he really had to throw the anchors out there to get that car to slow down. But great job there from Heathen and Tro and Colby to get around Bandit in that corner there. And Tro and Colby knew that was it. He had to go there, or potentially might lose a chance at second place here. And again, the clock is dwindling down. 7.5 minutes to go, and Tron is hot on the charge here right now on RA's Heathen. And this is going to be a great battle here between these two. So here we go. Never fails, ladies and gentlemen. We always have a good spicy battle for the podium position, and always before the end of these races, it seems like this season. And I guess you can't ask for it to be any better than that, can we? So here it is. It's Heathen in second position, and Tro and Colby is applying some pressure here. Got different tire compounds between the two drivers here. The bigger question is, are the fresh mediums going to outweigh the slightly more worn down softs? Right now, the way things are looking, I'm going to say no, but it's going to come down to these two drivers battling for the overall position there. So Fast Ginger, 18.8 seconds up the road. Heathen gets a good run through the final corner, but look at the charge that Tro and Colby gets, and Tron is going to use that slingshot. He is going to pull out beside Heathen, and it is going to be a drag race into turn number 1 here. Tro and Colby with the position. We got Medic just up in front here as well. So again, another blue flag situation starting to develop in front of these two as they're battling for second place here. And we're going to look for the over-under here from Heathen. And he caught that curb there a little bit. That unsettled his race car, but he does a great job at scooping it up, because Superman is just right there, 5.4 seconds behind, tracking, looking to potentially take a podium away from our boy Heathen here as well. But Tro and Colby getting the job done. And now he's got the giant task of trying to knock down 19 seconds in 6 minutes off our race leader. Can he get it done? That is a pretty big task here. So let's see what he's got. He's in here in third place, still trying to keep up with Tron there as well. But I think that Heathen's race here is going to be for third place before the end of the day here. And you can see Superman is closing in very quickly here. It's now 4.7 seconds. Egon here in 5th place. We got Dark Cobra in 6th position. I mean, he is checked out for the AMs here today, and he just needs to bring this car home in one piece, and he's going to lock in his first division win of the season here as well. So drivers are looking real good here. We got Bandit and Superman here on track. Now Superman looking to try and get around Bandit here. Superman's going to take that nice tidy tight line, but that's going to tuck him on the outside of Bandit here coming into the final corner, and that's not the ideal situation there. As you can see, it's a tough corner to negotiate, but drivers do a great job there. Alright, so Tron is up on Medic here. This is very good for Tron. Tron can clear Medic here coming out of turn number 1, as he then is going to have to wait to negotiate around Medic here. That is just going to continue to allow Tron to open the gap up on Heathen, but boy, Heathen got around very quickly. Medic just let him right on through on the exit of turn 1. They're very aware of what's going on as Medic there, and unfortunately for Tron, no help there for Medic on helping him with that gap a little bit. But we've got Egon here in 5th place, and he's 3.5 seconds from Superman in closing as well. So it is game on here. We got battle between Alpha and TDC Gaming here for 6th place as well on the racetrack. We got about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock here, so it should be this lap plus 2 more for these drivers. Potentially 3 laps for our race leaders here, depending when they cross the line. But a good healthy battle here between TDC and Lucky Alpha right now, and this again is for 7th place overall here. And TDC started the season off with a bang. And a little bit of a struggle here in today's race, not quite as high up in the pack maybe that he's probably like to be. So again, this championship is going to stay very, very close after round 4 here. I will have to get a calculation for everybody leading into our mid-season event next week, so we can give everybody an idea of where everybody's sitting in respective divisions as far as overall points go. So we'll get up with our graphic designer there, High Pre, and we'll get that sorted out. Alright, so it's Tro and Kobe here in second place. It's Heathen here in third position. Heathen has closed the gap back up on Tro a little bit, and Superman is 6.9 seconds in behind, but boy, Egon is pushing to catch him. Got Dark Cobra up in behind there, and it looks like he is about to go around Bandit there as well. So again, Bandit, they're dealing with a lot of lead lap traffic here right now, but hey, these guys are still on track, putting in that seat time, and at the end of the day, that is the most important thing, and why we like to do this as well. It is extra seat time and extra experience for our racers and our community members that you just can't gain anywhere else on this level. So there's just so many advantages to having racing, organized racing like this, not only through myself, but through many other great organizations all across the Gran Turismo platform, and of course all the other great racing platforms out there. But our focus here is on Gran Turismo 7 at GT45 Gaming. So Tro and Heathen, this battle is still hot to trot here between these two right now for second place, and you see Scary Guy just up ahead there as well. And I can't say that Tron has got this locked in right now. Heathen has just absolutely reeled him back in here and really is putting some pressure back on Tron here. The only disadvantage Heathen is at right now is that straight line speed is not quite as good as Tron's because of the tire difference. Other than that, Heathen is really putting the business into Tro and Kobe, and this is fantastic for TT's Fast Ginger as he is just driving his way around the track here to a hopeful race win here at the end of another minute and 50 seconds. We've got Tron still in second place here, and he's got Heathen right there in striking distance in that slipstream. And one little bobble, one little mistake can change everything here in second and third place right now. You can see Superman still tracking in fourth place as well. And it's a 6-second gap here right now, but he's there. And I mean, a big enough mistake made by those drivers that 6 seconds disappears very quickly on a racetrack. So anything can happen here in the last lap of this race. And you can see Tron is closing in on Scary Guy here, and this is potentially beneficial for Heathen here, as if Tron has to in any way try to wait or find a different way around Scary Guy there, that is going to potentially allow Heathen to make a move. But Heathen did not get that opportunity, as Scary Guy just moved out of the way for Tron and then got through the next corner and moved right out of the way for Heathen. And there it is. There's a little mistake right there from Tron Kobe that I thought that was going to be a much bigger one, but he caught the car. That was a great job of gathering the car up, but boy, Heathen saw that, and now he smells blood in the water, and this is going to be a one-lap showdown here for second place. Let's get back through the field here. Let's make sure we're not missing too much. We got Egon closing in on Superman here. All right, the battle is most certainly there in second place, and we're going to stick on second place here. We'll keep our eye on where Fast Ginger is on the racetrack so we can make sure we catch him coming across that line there, but we're definitely going to stick with this battle here for second place to the race end, as Heathen and Tron having a very good final stint battle here for the last two steps on the podium here. Which one's going to be standing on which one is yet to be determined here, as we got about a half a lap remaining here at Fuji right now. And oh, another slide there from Tron. You can see he really had to pick that car back up. We got TDC coming through in 7th there. We had Lucky Alpha come through just in behind him there in 8th place as well. So the bottom half of the field taking that checkered flag here. So our top 6 still rolling here. And we're just keeping our eye on this. 1 second is the gap here, so Tron's doing just enough right now to hold Heathen off. And here comes Fast Ginger, and it's going to be a round 4 win here for Ten Tenths Simracing. Fast Ginger, congratulations to him. That was a great performance there from him this evening. Tron Kobe here is going to hold Heathen off here, it looks like. Oh, we lost Alpha here. Oh, he might have left just after the race finish. All right, that is going to affect the racing results a little bit here. So it is Tron Kobe here as he comes around in second position, and it's going to be just a little shy there for Heathen, as he's going to come in just short in third place, but I don't think he's going to be too disappointed with that. It's going to be Superman and Scary Guy coming across there. Superman in fourth place. It's going to be Egon and Medic coming across together, the two orange cars side by side. There's going to be a 5th place finish there for 10 Tenths Egon, and our AM division winner here today, ladies and gentlemen, and 6th place overall on the grid here today. So juicy points here for Dark Cobra, as he comes across the line with Bandit just in tow behind there, I believe in 12th position. So it is going to be TDC Gaming in 7th. It's going to be 10 Tenths Kilt in 8th place. It's going to be Scary Guy up into 9th place, 2nd overall in that AM division here today as well. Oof, jeez. That was some racing right there. We got Nigel coming in with the thumbs up, Aaron coming in with the thumbs up, and it's Cody B, the legend himself, coming in with that thumbs up on the Facebook stream as well. But congratulations to 10 Tenths Fast Ginger for the race victory here today. And with that being said, of course, we will do some podium interviews here with our drivers. We will just set that up in a moment's time as we got to get all of our screenshots in. And it is going to be fastest lap here for 10 Tenths Fast Ginger as well. So picking up that extra bonus point, but it is, again, going to be that pole position point going to RA's Heathen and a 3rd place finish for him. But THG's Drone Kobe coming through with a solid drive there at the end. 2nd place for him, Superman in 4th, Egon in 5th, Dark Cobra winning for the AMs in 6th place, TDC Gaming in 7th, Kilt in 8th. It's going to put Scary Guy for you two in 2nd place for the AM division in 9th place, and Medic taking that final podium spot in the AMs in 10th. Bandit finishing there in 11th, and Lucky Alpha, I believe, finished in 8th place, I think it was. So we'll get that corrected, of course, post-race. All right, so great job there to all our drivers. We'll flip over to this screen here for a moment, and we will go into our Discord server to get us some podium interviews set up here. We got our 2nd place driver in there already. That's fantastic. Oops. Yeah, that works. All right, so we will just give it a few moments time here to let the drivers get an opportunity, obviously, to get out of their race cars. Those cars obviously having to go through tech inspection and all that great stuff for our podium winners. Make sure the cars are up to snuff. Make sure there is no funny business going on. And then, of course, things will be made official within about 48 to 72 hours after race time here. So about Friday, Saturday, usually the SLP gets updated, and then the drivers can go and take a look at where they sit in the roster. We are missing 2 of our drivers still on SLP. Once we have those drivers in the community, of course, we'll have the standings properly updated where everybody sits. But in the meantime, we'll get a secondary set of standings up for our drivers in the Discord server here throughout the next few days as well, so the drivers can see exactly how that all breaks down as well compared to SLP. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess with that being said, huge shout out to SLP, Sim League Pro, who is our host site this season. So we are hosting the series through Sim League Pro, and it's a host site for league organizers. Allows you to set up race events, leagues, all kinds of great stuff, one-off nights, one-off events. It's a good way to track drivers, register drivers, track points. It's a good way to do stewarding as well. It's kind of an all-in-one stop shop for league organizers that don't necessarily have time to make the graphics, do all that work behind the scenes, and keep those things updated week to week. All you got to do is go implement the information properly into SLP behind the scenes, hit the go button, and it does all the work for you from there. So a little bit of an easier tool for league organizers that maybe don't have the resources they need to operate or have an event or organize racing like we do here at GT45 Gaming. SLP does allow those groups to still have a very professional ran racing event or racing series and have a great website there to back them up. So huge shout out to Sim League Pro, and again, be working with them for many years to come and many seasons to come. We love the site there, and as we learn it, we continue to only get better and better with it as well. So great stuff. Let's go check our podium booth here now. Mediums take a minute to get dialed in, says Aaron. Facts. GG's driver, says Cody. Mr. Reeves, says Cody. GG's boys. Congrats, GG, says Kilty. All right, we got all our podium interviewers here, so fantastic. Let's get talking to our drivers. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a noob. Okay, there we go. We are rocking, we're rolling. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have all three of our drivers here now with us in the podium booth, and we are going to start with Race Asylum driver Heathen, our third place finisher. He qualified on pole here today, got caught up in turn one, fell down to the back of the pack, and absolutely put his foot into it for the rest of the race, and found himself challenging hard there for second place at the end of the race, but tire strategy not quite working out for him here today, and he's going to find himself sitting on the smallest step of the podium in third place. But congratulations on a very hard-fought race here for yourself today. I know this is one of your preferred tracks here with the high downforce cars. Talk us through how your night went. Oh, we might not have a heathen. All right, let's go to our second place driver here. While Heathen maybe dealing with daddy duties, of course, with the newest addition to the family is what I was trying to spit out there a few months back there as well. So we'll head it over to our second place driver, and we'll go have a chat with THG's Tron Kobe, and then we'll jump back to Heathen when he gets back here. So congratulations to
I'm here when you're ready.
all right.
Sorry.
We got Heathen. All right, Heathen. Congratulations. A tough start here for you today. After the red flag, we get that grid set back up. We get to start off. You got caught up in the turn one incident there. You fell back into the back of the pack a little bit there. I think it was 9th or 10th place, and then really just kind of put your head down, put your foot into it, started tracking, and was a great battle for second place with Tron Kobe there, finding yourself in third at race finish. So talk us through your race, and congratulations on a great race.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that first stint was kind of a barn burner. I was on a mission, man. This is one of my favorite tracks. I don't know what it is about these technical tracks, but I love them, man. I remember last week Jake specifically said that nobody was going to love this car and track combo, and he was wrong. But no, the race was great. Basically, like you said, just put my head down for those first two stints. Kind of knew that with it being a recovery drive, everything I had planned for my tire strategy was going to be out the window because I was going to push as hard as I had to get back up front. The mediums, they were good for a few laps there at the end, but once I got into the fight, front end push and stuff like that with some wear on them, the front end was washing in that tight section, and I didn't have nothing for them. And then kind of got in the grass a couple times and messed that up, but that was an amazing battle to the end, and I want to thank Tron for that. This is the second or third just absolute dogfight I've had with him, and he's fair. Might get a little argy-bargy here and there, but we respect each other's racing, and we both know how each other race to be able to do that around each other. But yeah, man, it was a blast. I had a blast. I would have rather been on that top step, but hey, I'll take what I can get out of a race like that.
Absolutely, and I mean, really, really great recovery drive here coming from you tonight. We've been seeing lots of great recovery drives from our drivers from both divisions here so far this season. Now, you guys spent 3 weeks running that Audi R18, and then you guys have to come to, like you said, a fairly technical racetrack here, and of course that lingering weather behind the scenes, of course, in the driver's mind is probably playing a little bit of a part of how the race was going here today. But and in a very difficult car, the Toyota GR10 hypercar is a very quick car, almost 200 miles an hour at the end of that front straight when you guys coming into turn one braking zone there. How was it adjusting from the Audi to the Toyota in just a short few days time to get ready for round number 4?
This thing is an absolute just monster. It's constantly, I don't know how to put it. It's the hybrid boost is a lot stronger, and it's always there. It never really drops enough to where you don't get the advantage. Somehow you might not get full advantage out of it, but you've got to absolutely be cooking to wear it out like that. It is a difficult car to drive. The R18 is more planted, and this, we had like you said 3 races of getting used to the R18, and then jumping in this, which is just basically an evolution of that class, right? But 6 years later, it's a completely different monster. And the rain was very much in the back of my head. I was kind of praying for it when I had to change up my tire strategy, because if it would have rained later on in the race, it would have kind of played into my hands a little bit. Um, but yeah, it didn't.
Absolutely, and Fuji is really honestly a 50-50 chance of getting rain when you have this dynamic weather
hmm
factor in too as well. So kind of surprised myself that we didn't see it in one of the two lobbies. So Fuji playing nice here for our racers this week. But that leads us into our mid-season event here. We've got a double points round coming next week. Huge amount of points up on the table here for all our racers. But it's going to be a very difficult race. It's going to be a 60-minute battle at Le Mans in a different car yet again. We're going to take you guys out of the Toyota. We're going to throw you in that Peugeot HDI or HPI, whatever it is, car here as well next week. And that car in itself is a whole different beast altogether. The Peugeot doesn't have battery assist. It is all motor. So again, do you just kind of take the same approach now preparing for next week's racing round at Le Sarthe with a different car that you did this round coming from the Audi to the Toyota?
Um, Pretty much just grind it out and practice as much as you can between now and then. And I I kind of like the fact that the Peugeot doesn't have the hybrid system in it. Kind of evens the playing field a little bit, but Le Mans is Le Mans. That track, you can have a great day and blow it at the end, or you can just have an absolute horrible day all around. Um, Hopefully, it's neither of those two, and I can snag another podium out of this thing.
Absolutely. I mean, the points are getting tight here, especially in the Pro-Am side of things here as the season is nearing the midway point for next week. So with that being said, every position definitely for next week's racing round is going to matter for these drivers with double points on the line. It's going to be a reverse grid based off championship standings as well, ladies and gentlemen. So there will be no qualifier leading into next week's racing either. The grid is already going to be predetermined based off of where our drivers are placed in the standings. So with that being said, I guess any final remarks on your race here tonight and any shout outs to the viewers watching at home?
No, man, just want to thank Trone again for just an absolutely just killer race. No other way to put it. That was great racing all the way around. Started in my second stint and lasted right up until the checkered flag. So thanks again, man. And of course, want to thank and say hi to my beautiful now wife, Rachel, and our daughters, Elena and Olivia, and the team at Race Asylum, and of course, GT45 Gaming. And thank you for everything you do for the community, man.
Cheers. Well, congratulations on a third place finish here today, and of course, locking in some good points as you continue your chase for a championship here this season. And we'll let you get back to that Races Home Clubhouse and go celebrate with that great team behind the scenes.
Thank you, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got lots of interviews to get through. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. We're going to move up into THG's Trone Kobe, our second place driver here. Now, he opted to go on a regular strategy, start on the medium tires, and then hit two soft stints at the end of the race, where the race leaders went soft to the mediums. I'm assuming potentially in hopes that it was going to rain and they didn't have to use that medium tire. Didn't work out that way here for him tonight. Worked out great, though, for Trone Kobe, as he was able to scoop up second place in a really hard-fought battle against Heathen. Just unfortunately, a little too much of a gap to overcome there to the race lead, but an absolutely fantastic drive out of here again in round number 4, Trone. Congratulations on a really hard-fought race. Great tire strategy to get yourself another great position at the end of the race. Talk us through how your race was tonight.
Actually, After the red flag, I forgot to change back to medium tires. So I ended up starting on soft, so that kind of mixed my tire strategy up. The race I tested got to a good battle with Superman at first, and then I saw Chincher just flying. I'm like, wow, so I'm not gonna catch up with that guy. Um, then I pitted and switched to mediums, and then pitted to Dr. Softs, and that's why I had that amazing battle with Heath. So that was a blast. And I thought Heath was gonna run away with it, but I managed to pass him and got second place.
Absolutely, and I mean, you guys had a lot going on there in that. I would say, especially the last 10 minutes of the race, you guys were navigating some blue flag traffic as you guys were also battling for the podium positions. But you got a great move on Heathen, and then he seemed to fall off a little bit, and then in the last 3 or 4 laps of the race, he just absolutely turned it on those racing medium tires and really started to put the pressure back on you. But of course, you were there to answer that call and held off the charger for a great second place finish. But doing really well so far this season. And what is the game plan, I guess, heading into Le Mans next week with the double points on the board?
Practice. I love that person. I just love it, especially on long straight tracks like the Mons and St. Cross. See, I think that's it. I love that car. I can really fly. So it's gonna be a lot of practice, especially if it's gonna rain.
Absolutely, and for the folks viewing at home, next week's round 5 at Le Mans, obviously dynamic weather in play here. Rain is a possibility at Le Mans as well next week for our racers. So 3 of the 4 races that could potentially yield moisture here this season will be off the season schedule here by round 5. But it is going to be no easy task at Le Mans for 60 minutes here for all of our drivers next weekend. And again, same question that I asked Heathen. You've had to make that adaptation from the Audi to the Toyota. Now you guys have to make that adaptation from the Toyota to the Peugeot LMP1 car. How do you approach that adaptation in such a short amount of time?
Just like Keita said, a lot of practice. I know that car very well, so it wouldn't be a problem for me. It's just a lot of practice coming into next week's race.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Practice makes perfect. We say it all the time here, and the racers, they do an amazing amount of work and practice to prepare for each one of these 50-minute or 1 hour races here for the season. So we really do appreciate all the effort, and it shows on the racetrack with the great action we get every week from these drivers as well. But with that being said, any final remarks on your great race here tonight coming from yourself and the Humble Guys, and any shout outs and thank yous to the viewer watching at home?
Yeah, I want to shout out to PhD. I'm gonna shout them out first since I almost forgot last week. Shout out to all the great races today, especially the blue flag markers. I'm glad y'all safely, let us continue racing, but good racing out there. Congratulations to Fast Ginger and great battle with Heathen, and thank you for the great commentary.
Well, we appreciate the great performance out on the racetrack here from yourself as always again tonight, and congratulations on a really strong second place finish here in our prototype round 4. And with that being said, we'll let you get back to that great clubhouse behind the scenes and go celebrate with that great team.
All right, thank you.
Cheers, Trode. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go talk with our Pro-Am winner, and then we're going to go talk with our Am winner next. So we're going to go ahead and talk with Ten Tenths Simracing Fast Ginger, one of the representing drivers here from Ten Tenths Racing in the season today, and he looked very, very strong out there today. He was fighting for that pole position in qualifying, wasn't able to get it, but got a good race start, didn't get caught up in the turn 1 incident, was able to break free really early on, and from there it was just you kind of controlled the pace of the race, just continued to open that gap to a point where it seemed like you were comfortable enough, and then you just kind of locked it in right there. So for the most part, a fairly uneventful race for yourself, but talk us through how your day went and what was going on through your mind as things were progressing throughout your race today.
Yep. I was the qualifying. Yeah, I thought I had it, and I was like, jumped out, and I was got in the pits and was waiting, and he then threw in a lap there and took the pole away from me. But I was okay, and actually that's probably better. I think the start on the right hand side was better going into the first right hand turn. I just hit the brakes. I think I've slid through a little on the first run through. I went through a little, and then I broke a little bit earlier on the second try and made it. I got in second place, and then pretty quickly got in the lead. And then it was just a matter of I was going to do two stints of softs and then mediums to end the race on, and that was the whole plan. And the plan was just to put my foot in it and go and just try to, once I got in the lead, I was like, I'm going to try to build this up. And I was, I think probably the first 4 or 5 laps I was kept doing fastest laps. So I just kept getting a little faster, making about a second on the a second each lap on second place, and just trying to build that gap. And I was going to pit a little earlier on the softs, but they weren't wearing as bad as they had in practice. So I went a little longer, and then I actually put some fuel in because my plan was to do softs, no fuel, softs, get out, and then just finish probably on mediums for the last 20 minutes. But then I had a good lead. I saw some other people making pit stops, so I knew it wasn't going to be just a one-stopper for most everybody. So I was like, I'm going to burn down these soft tires, put on another set, burn them down, and then put just enough fuel in to finish the race on the mediums. And yeah, I think I was in second place coming out of the pit stop for the first, both of them maybe, and then the first place person went into the pits. So yeah, it was pretty much smooth sailing there. I had a 20-second gap on the front, or at the last stint, and I was thinking that they might be on softs and they may be able to make up that 1 second a lap, but it stayed at 20 to 19 to 18 to 19. So I just was able to keep pace with what they were doing, and just didn't cruise through to the win, but just made sure that I wasn't going to make any mistakes and throw it away. So that was my strategy.
Well, I mean, well played out race, well driven race here today. Like I said, fairly uneventful race for you. You got out clean, and really just immediately started doing as you said, just try to open that gap and immediately work that strategy into its favor. And Trone was on the soft tires coming into that final stint, but obviously with that heavy battle between him and Heathen there for second and third place, that really kind of didn't give Trone an opportunity to try and close that 20-second gap on you, but a little bit of help from the battle in behind you today to secure that race win. But I don't think that the 20-second gap with about 15 minutes left was going to be challenged unless you made the big mistake either way. Today you just had a great race, and
yeah, I could see on the radar that there was just a gaggle of cars back there together, and I was like, well, if they're going to be fighting for position, then that means I'll just be able to and I was out on my own, just cranking down lap after lap, and they were all pretty much the same time. So I figured, I ran into a couple of back markers. They let me through pretty quick, and so that was great. But yeah, saw them back. I saw the little arrows fighting, and I was like, well, that's to my advantage. So I just like, I'm not gonna. It was mine to lose. That was for sure.
Absolutely, that's pretty much how we say it when we see those big gaps from our race leaders in racing events when we do our commentary. But Le Mans next week, double points round. You got a pretty good foothold up in the top end of the point standings right now here in the Pro-Am division. I guess what's the goal heading into Le Mans with double points on the board?
Yeah, double points, and then also that's the downside of being towards the top of the leaderboard is that I'll be towards the bottom of the start. So, the Le Mans Le Sarthe turn, I guess it's turn 2 and 3 at the top of the hill. That's a real big pinch point. That's a real good way to get spun, and you can't win the race in the first few turns, but you can certainly lose it that way. So just try to get a clean start, and then the draft will be huge there for sure. So just try to draft down the straightaway. First place might not be the place to be there until at going into the last lap. That might be the worst place to be in is first. So yeah, it's just going to be a long race. Like you said, there's no qualifying, so you start where your points are. I think it's survive the first lap and then just make sure that leaves you in a good spot for the next 55 minutes. That's like that you were asking about the cars. The Audi just had so much wheel spin coming off the when you were trying to accelerate out of the corners. So this didn't quite have that. It just had a good strong pull. I actually like this car better than the Audi. I thought it was easier to drive for sure, and then the next one is all motor, so it's just it's a nice car to drive too, so it should be a fun race. It should be a real good one.
Absolutely, and I mean mid-season already, ladies and gentlemen. Next week as well, here from our prototype drivers, and the AMs are really starting to put some pressure on the pro-am field here too as we progress through our season. So I just want to give a special shout out to our AM drivers. They're really doing a fantastic job this season in this multi-split lobby, and it's been really fun to watch the AMs mixing it up with the pro-ams. And I mean, there's situations on the track where you guys are trying to catch your next divisional placement driver. You're kind of got a pro, or you got one of those AMs caught in between in front of you, and there's no orders, so to speak, where that driver has to give a pro-am the position. That it is game on.
No.
So I mean, what's it like fighting with the AM drivers in those situations?
Yeah, I mean, if it's for position, they're just another driver. So yeah, that's obviously sometimes you're not sure what they're going to do. So you a little more cautious sometimes, and just give a little more space, not run up on them, not expect them to always brake where you're going to brake. So you just have to be a little more situational awareness. But if they're up there fighting for the same position you're in, then game on. We're race them fair and race them hard.
Absolutely, and I mean, congratulations on an outstanding performance here today. Controlled the race start to finish here from Ten Tenths Fast Ginger, and I guess any final remarks on your race here today, and shout outs to the viewers watching at home.
Yeah, that wasn't not a bad early birthday present for this week. So yeah, that was a good one for me. So very happy with that. I felt I had a chance to win last week's race, but it didn't work out for me so well on the first lap. But was very very proud and happy to have done well at this one. Just shout out. I know that Kilt and Death from the pro lobby been setting up some lobbies for practicing, and they've been very helpful to do that for us and get the lobbies open and get some practice in. Yourself and GT45 website and YouTube channel and Discord and all of that, everything that you guys do, Miss D behind the scenes, all the teammates when we go to practice, helping each other learn the track, learn the strategies, and bouncing things back and forth. It's been great series, great bunch of drivers. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed it. So, yep, just happy to have got a first win here, and let's move on to the next one and see if we can get another win there too.
Absolutely, and that's what we love to hear from our racers. Already thinking about their next potential podium in the next week of racing. So, again, congratulations and happy early birthday to yourself as well. Definitely a good birthday present to win a race during the birthday week for sure. And with that being said, we'll let you get back to that Ten Tenths clubhouse to go celebrate with that team behind the scenes.
Alrighty, thank you.
Cheers, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least is our AM division winner here today. And we've got Dark Cobra up in the house here now. This guy came in, he's brand new to the LMP1 cars this season. He started off in that Audi, and that one seemed like to give him a little bit of a struggle, but he's been on track. He's been working hard with the community and the drivers, and definitely seemed like he was settled into this Toyota GR10 much more tonight here at Fuji International Speedway. So, first and foremost, congratulations on your first AM Division win this season and sixth place overall in this lobby. Outstanding performance from yourself here today. Talk us through how your race was.
Hey, thanks, man. What are we doing here? It's been a lot of practice this week. All I kept hearing during the race was Miss Devious in my head. Into the turn in second, out in third, shift down, go into the apex, all this. But no, going into the race, it was pretty old school. Qualify on softs, get as high as I could, and then do a medium soft strategy and see where I end up. Try and hit my marks. Try and stay as fast as I can, as consistent as I can, and just wherever I end up, I end up. It was a great race. Had a lot of fun. I know I was up there, up in first for one lap when all the leaderboard went into pit, and I was kind of hoping to get 12 laps out of the mediums, and I think I ended up getting 12 or 13. So it was a great race. I had a lot of fun, and appreciate the opportunity from everybody.
Absolutely, and I mean these LMP1 cars, high downforce cars, these guys are definitely no joke. And you know, coming in with not as much experience behind the wheel of this particular class of racing car, and then you just kind of start to get used to one, and then we toss you into a completely different car on a fairly difficult racetrack. How was it transitioning from the Audi to the Toyota for yourself?
It was a completely different experience. The Audis seemed a lot grippier per se. I could go into a turn a little bit faster, and getting into the Toyota, you really had to work the throttle and know what corner you had to go into, what gear, and then come out so that you wouldn't spin the tires or have the ABS turn on and all that. So it was a huge learning curve from the Audis to the Toyotas. I do like the Toyotas a lot more. They're a little bit more to handle, but they're a lot of fun to drive.
Absolutely, and an absolute monster. This Toyota GR10 is, like I said, almost 200 miles an hour by the time we get to the braking zone into turn number one. So, overall, enjoying your experience here so far this season and the racing with the group that you're racing against.
Oh yeah, so far it's a great community. The community as a whole is fantastic. I don't think we've at least for myself, I don't think I've come into any ill will or any cheating like you see on YouTube from other players or bad drivers or anything like that. Everybody's been great, and it's been a lot of fun. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Well, incredible drive from yourself here this week. You were in that discussion for driver of the day last week, and it's just you were up against a driver that just had an incredible performance from your division, and had a great performance to follow it up here again this week. So definitely in that discussion for driver of the day here again this week for our AM division, ladies and gentlemen, is Dark Cobra. And congratulations on a great race. We've been watching you progress throughout the early parts of the season, and you looked really great out there today. You looked focused, you looked locked in, and you looked ready to race. So that's what it's all about. And he definitely looked like he had fun, didn't he, Chad? He was out there moving and grooving with those pro-ams. So, congratulations on a really well put together race. Great strategy here today, and locking in a really fantastic top half of the field finish for yourself. So, with that being said, any final remarks on your racing here today, and shout outs to the viewers watching at home?
No, it was a great race. Felt good. That was definitely the best one that I've had so far. Looking forward to Le Mans. I love Le Mans. I have not driven the Peugeot though, so we're as soon as I get done with this, we're going to go out on track and see how that thing handles. But shout outs. I mean, GT45, you guys are putting a fantastic, well organized series together, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. Shout out to JP for, pushing me to come join it and put my name in the hat and go out here and race. Huge shout out to TPC. They've been a great supporter of me since I've been with them, and I absolutely enjoy those guys. Ten Tenths, I love racing with them, all of them. They're an absolute blast to be around, and everybody else that has basically been there to lend me any type of support or any word of encouragement or anything like that. Huge shout out to Miss Devious for this week. Could not have done it without her. She is definitely one of the best out there. So I look forward to learning more from her as we progress in the season.
Well, absolutely great racing here from yourself again tonight, and we definitely look forward to see what you're going to bring for us here in Le Mans next week on Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back live at Le Mans with our Pro-Am split to see if Dark Cobra can lock in his second win of the season here in the AM division. But great racing from you here tonight, and with that being said, we'll let you get back to that clubhouse to go celebrate with all those great racers in behind the scenes.
Thanks, bud. Good night, everybody.
Cheers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Those were our podium interviewees, our top 3 overall for the race, and our top AM driver here tonight. And that is going to probably be a continuing trend here now as we move forward into our making all kinds of noise here. Racing season for the remainder of the season. We haven't been talking to our AM winners, and that was definitely something that was designed to be put in place here for the season. So Race Control was on it tonight, so we appreciate Race Control for getting that extra driver up in there for us to have a chat with them. The AM drivers put in just as much work as these Pro-Am drivers, and they should be entitled to come and hang out and chat with us, the viewers, after a good race victory as well. So congratulations to all 12 of our drivers. Again, we had 8 of our Pro-Ams on track here tonight with 4 of our AM drivers tonight, and it turned out to be a really fantastic night of racing here from the whole group. So with that being said, we're going to take about a short 5-minute break here, so maybe just a few extra minutes. We're going to get that pro lobby set up here, and we'll get that pro race underway here in just a few moments' time. So we're just going to flip you over to a break screen here for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. And what that will do is allow me some time to get everything set up so we can get race number 2 here for everybody on the big screen. So we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes time to get everything set up. Don't run away. Enjoy the tunes. Refresh those bevies. Maybe hit the little boys or girls room if need be. And we'll be back to bring another great 15-minute race here for everybody from our pro division from last night. So we will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do thank you everybody for the wait. So we are just going to bring in what's going on here. So this was our Pro Division race from Monday, this past Monday, so last night. Unfortunately, I was having some issues with my PC and was unable to get the stream up for the race, but the race still ran as scheduled, and it was a race. 14 drivers on track here today, and it was a good race. So with that being said, we're not going to wait too much longer to get into it, but this is going to be our Pro Division race as it was ran last night. This is done via a replay, so we will be missing a few things within this stream. We won't have the live timing gaps in between the drivers, so I'll do the best I can to keep you informed of what those gaps are as we progress. And we will not have any live action replays, as this is no longer a live action race. This is now a replay, so we don't have the same functions as we do with a live race, so I do apologize for that, but we got to get the racing action to the viewers because that is what they come here to see, and we appreciate our viewers. So without any further delay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take you to the big screen. Let's make a couple of switches on the graphics real quick here, and let's get rocking and rolling. All right, so you can see on the screen in front of us here, we have the lineup set up. So it was SV's Payme to take pole position in qualifying last night, followed up by Lucas369. It was Dudley in third place, followed by Ishmael in fourth. In fifth place was RA's Larry Birch, and Miss Devious in sixth place beside him. It was ATK's Death that qualified seventh, with GVG's Team Rad's Nolander, in eighth place. It was GVG's Ghost qualifying in ninth place, and it was RA's JP qualifying in 10th place beside him. It was Ten Tenths Badass in 11th place, with RA's ATB in 12th place, and it was TT's JSet rounding out our field here in 13th position. So I do apologize. 13 drivers on track last night, not 14. And without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go pro racing. Here we go. And we are just going to wait for them to drop the green flag. Now, noted that this was also a red flag race. This is the restart of the race and the full 50-minute duration of the race. So here we go. And again, the second place driver getting the advantage here over pole position coming into turn number one. And you can see Lucas369 is going to take pole position away from Payme, but Payme is going to go right back at him there, and he's going to take the position back away. So very early on, we are fighting it out here for first place. It's Payme and Lucas. We got Dudley in third. We got Ishmael in fourth. Miss Devious and Larry Birch side by side here as we head through the kink. And Miss Devious is going to get the position over Larry Birch and move up into fifth place. We got GVG's Ghost there in seventh position, tucked right in behind. We've got Nolander from Team Rad there, ATK's Death, JP. ATB being contested here on the outside by Ten Tenths Badass, and we're side by side here now as we head through the double apex sweeping corner here. These all have corner names. I just haven't looked at the map yet. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit behind the ball here as always. It's ATB here in 12th place and TTJ set right there in 13th, but ATB gets a nice move on the outside of Ten Tenths Badass right there, and he's going to move himself up into 11th position with that great pass there on Badass through that final sector. So it is Payme still in the lead of the race here as we head into the final corner, and is Lucas369 very close behind here in second place, and that gap's only about a half a second between the two. We got Dudley right there about a second in behind here currently in third place, and we've got Ishmael here immediately breaking the toe here in fourth place. He's going to move across the racetrack there, make sure that no drivers are going to get a free ride from him, and he is going to make them do it the hard way. Miss Devious there in fifth place, with GVG Ghost now up ahead of Larry there as well. And fifth place here as we head into turn one here for the second time. And Nolander makes a big move there, a little bit of a touch there, and he stacks up the pack there. I think he made a little bit of a contact there with Ghost, and he's going to give the position back there as you see him just lay off the throttle. But by doing so, that's also allowed Larry Birch to get around, and now ATK Death gets up the inside, but ATK Death does not get the position going into the corner, has to settle back in line, and it's going to be ninth place there. So Nolander making a little bit of a mistake there, and he actually gives up an extra position in the exchange there. Jay takes advantage, moves up 2 positions there into 10th place ahead of JP and ATB and Badass there. So again, that stacked up the field a little bit in turn one there, and everybody's swapping positions around there as they all had to get hard on their racing brakes there not to collide with each other. So here we go again. It is still Payme rocking and rolling here in the lead. Let's go TT Fast Ginger. Egon's looking good. Heathen driver of the day. Good job, drivers. Let's go TT. Great race. Great race. Just stopping in. Have a good one. Appreciate you. Hi, peoples. Josh saying hi. Night, boss, man. Have a good night, Jojo. Good racing today, buddy. All right, so it is Payme in the lead here. Lucas took a look on the outside, but again, that's just drivers taking different lines through the final corner. We discussed this in the Pro-Am lobby, how there's about 3 or 4 different options you can take to get out of that final corner. And Lucas taking a different line there just, again, to get some fresh air into the front end of his car. And a little bit of a push coming right there from Lucas 369 on Payme. So instead of opting to try and get first place from him there, he gives him a little bit of a push to try and start to break away from the pack. But then he makes a quick move to the inside there. We're side by side, but no, Payme is going to hold the position here over Lucas 369, and Payme still holding it strong here in first place. And a good battle here right now between these two for the overall race lead very early on. It's Dudley here, and he is about 2 seconds in behind here now, but on a different tire compound than our race leaders. We got 10 Tenths Misdevious here in 4th place, about 2 seconds in behind Dudley and Ishmael. Right there, about a second in behind in 5th place, tracking as well. We've got Larry Birch here in 6th place, and the mid-pack is cooking here. Let's keep our eye on what's happening here in this mid-pack, as we got side-by-side action between JP and Nolander there, and it is going to be Nolander with the inside track coming through the double sweeper here, and JP is still going to hold strong there, but no, JP is just going to settle in behind there. We got Jay. Nolander takes a look up the inside of Death, a little bit of a touch there. That forces JP on the outside. He has to take the grass. He's going to lose the position there to Jay, and oh my. JP there, victim of that chicane right there, got squeezed out a little bit there, got him into the grass, and those dirty tires creating a spin there as he's trying to get on the power of the exit, and that is going to put him off the back a little bit there, and slowly working to try and catch back up to the pack, I think, here. But let's see what's happening up front here. We haven't had a position change there yet. It is Payme fastest man on track currently right now. Dudley comes through here in 3rd place. Misdevious still in 4th, and Ishmael right there in 5th place. Larry Birch not too far behind there in 6th position, about 4.5-5 seconds. ATK's Death tracking there in 7th place with Nolander in 8th and Jay in 9th place, and we got a battle here. Jay's going to take a look up the inside, but Jay is going to blow the corner here, and he's going to lose 2 positions or more there as he went really late on the brakes there. Badass is going to grab spot. ATB is going to grab the spot. Ghost is going to move up there as well. Jay drops all the way down into 12th place there with misjudging that braking point, and JP here definitely a little off the beaten path here after that racing incident. He got stuck in a really bad spot there on the track, and he is really on the back foot here now, and that is really, really unfortunate there as JP turns out to be the big loser in that exchange there between the 3 cars. But it is Payme here leading the way in this race. He's led the whole race here. It was contested very early on by Lucas 36 there, but Payme's done a great job at just staying ahead here, and these two have been in a dogfight all season long for the top end of this field here. Clearly very, very quick in these LMP1 cars. Dudley here has been right there with these guys all season long as well, chasing his new face here this season. He's looked great out on the track, and he is a racy racer, this one. Let me tell you what, this guy is not scared to battle for position. We've got 10 Tenths Misdevious here in 4th place. She's trying to close back in on Dudley here, and it got the gap down to about maybe 1.5 seconds there, so just to dip it in a little bit to that time. We got Ishmael here in 5th place as well, and he's still about 2 seconds, maybe a little more in behind Misdevious with Larry Birch chasing, and that gap is about 4 seconds, give or take, there to the top 5 drivers there right now. So it's Nolander and Death here, 7th and 8th place, and this was a 3-way battle here for racing position here, but Death is going to take a look on the exit of the turn 1 there. He gets a good run, but Nolander able to hold the charge from Death off here, and is Death going to take a look into the kink? He's just going to settle in behind Nolander here, but he is going to take that shorter line through there and try to get a good run on the outside of the corner here. This is tough battling through this sweeper. There's not a lot of room for error here when you're side by side. You can see lots of room given there between the 2 drivers, and Death is just going to send it deep and get the job done there, and he's going to move up a position ahead on Nolander, move up into 7th place, and that's drawing 10 Tenths Badass right into the backside of Nolander here now. So 3-way battle for 7th place, and we got ATB and GVG's Ghost in behind there, and Jay as well. So 3 of them coming through the corner. They're all fighting for space on the racetrack here right now, and it's going to be Death still leading the charge, but now we've got ATB, Ghost, and Jay set getting involved here. This is very quickly becoming a 6-way battle for 7th place here as these drivers continue to close in on each other here through the final sector of the racetrack, and with 1 corner to go here left on this lap, Let's see if anybody gets a better run on the other driver coming through the corner. We've seen 3 different lines coming out of the final corner there, and Ten Tenths Badass gets a good run on the backside of Team Rad's Nolander there, and let's see if he's going to make something happen here, or if he's just going to stay in the slip. Nope, he is going to take a look up the inside here as we head into turn number 1, and Ten Tenths Badass looking to try and get a position here, and he's going to get it into the braking zone, and he's going to close up on the backside of ATK's Death there. He's also going to defend the position. Nolander tried to respond back there, but he kind of got caught up on that curve, and he got very fortunate there not to get tossed out. And falls very quickly, about half second in behind Badass there with hooking that curb, and that has drawn in ATB and GVG's Ghost. Now, has been noted that Ghost has been given some bumps here to ATB as they've been progressing up the racetrack here in this early stint as well. So no battling happening here between Ghost and ATB, but some friendly teamwork happening here between competitors. And oh boy, Ghost! Big tank slapper right there. That's going to send him off the track straight up into the wall there, and he's going to have to get that car turned around. JP's going to grab that position there, and Ghost is going to get that thing turned around, and right in the middle of a battle there, a huge tank slapper, and absolutely sending that car out into the right side of the racetrack there, and he's going to pick up a little bit of damage, but it will go away after 30 seconds as we are using that light damage model here in the series. Just unfortunate there. He's going to have some work to do now from 13th position. But it is Payme and Lucas here, and again, not battling right now for first place. Lucas is just settled in behind the race leader Payme here right now, and these two are just kind of working together right now to try and again open the gap up to the rest of the field chasing him behind. And that's Dudley here currently leading this next pack of drivers, which is himself and Ten Tenths Miss Devious in 4th place chasing, and she's got about a second and a half in behind Dudley currently right now in 4th place, but does pick up a half-second track limit penalty there through the kink, and that is definitely not ideal as she's trying to charge up to 3rd place there. We've got Ishmael here, and he's about 3 seconds in behind, maybe a little more, a little less, to Miss Devious currently as he comes around the hairpin here, and that half-second track limit penalty is going to allow him to track in about 3/4 of an extra second here on Miss Devious. Got Larry Birch here in the 6th position, and the gap is about 7, maybe 8 seconds here now between himself and 5th place Ishmael up ahead. We got Badass and Death battling it out here, and Badass just getting a position recently here on Death, so he made his way around Nolander. Now he's made his way around ATK's Death, and he's currently sitting up in 7th position here as we head through the chicane into the S's, and that leads us into this very difficult technical final sector here at Fuji. And oh my goodness, another tank slapper here again in this final sector. And Badass does a great job of keeping it out of the wall right there, but boy, oh boy, that was not what he wanted to see there, and it was going to drop him down into 11th position there, so not ideal there. 7th to 11th there on that tank slapper, and that is the 2nd driver here tonight now in this pro lobby that we've seen with the tank slapper, sending that car all kinds of out of sorts off the track there, so you can see how unpredictable at these speeds this car really can be on this very difficult track. This car likes to drive fast. It's not designed in these slow, long, drawn-out corners like we see it, especially in the final sector here in Fuji. It tends to cause this car a little bit of stability management issues with the amount of torque in the rear tires that this hypercar has. So it is a very tricky part of the racetrack for these drivers with this Toyota GR10 hypercar, and at the pace that these drivers are racing in these cars around this racetrack, it is very easy to get that fuel weight to just shift very aggressively in the back of the car, and that is enough to throw the back end of these cars around, and that is why we see that right-left snap from these cars when they're coming around the corners. That's just that heavy fuel load making that big shift in the tank, and that is what is tossing these drivers out off their lines in the racetracks here. So very unfortunate for Ghost and Badass here today with those tank slappers, but lots of race left. Only 11.5 minutes into this thing here so far today. It is Miss Devious here in 4th position with Ishmael here in 5th place. We got Larry Birch there in 6th place. We've got ATK's Death here in 7th position with TT's J-Set here in 8th place. We've got RA's ATB there in 9th place, but made a mistake there with a big wiggle on the exit there, and Badass is going to take opportunity of that and move himself back up into 9th place there as he tries to continue to chase that pack up ahead of him there that he was battling with just a lap ago essentially. So ATB finds himself down to the 10th place there, just a little wiggle there, and that was enough to cost a position. Nolander now closing in here as well. got Ghost in at 12th place and JP here in 13th, and potentially another little struggle here coming from JP at some point on the racetrack there, as well as he is now trailing in behind Ghost there by about 4 or 5 seconds. So a couple drivers struggling with the car here so far today. Egon coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. We also had Joshua coming in with that thumbs up, and Stefan coming in with the thumbs up over on Facebook as well. We appreciate all those reactions on the streams here tonight. And if you haven't done so already, please do make sure to like and share this bad boy out before you go. It's a couple free things you can do to help the page grow and find more great racing fans to come and watch the amazing performances being put on by our racers here at GT45 Gaming in our GT45 Prototype Challenge. This is top level racing here, and I gotta tell you what, these two right now, Payme and Lucas369, are putting on a show here right now up front. Got Dudley here in 3rd place, and he's on a slightly different tire strategy than 1st and 2nd, and even 4th place in behind him there as well with Miss Devious, who's on that soft tire here as well. So Dudley's been doing a great job at pacing the 4th place driver Miss Devious on that medium tire compared to the soft tire. However, the medium tire is going to have a lot more tire life than that soft tire does, and you can see it right there on the screen. The soft tires are done here as we start lap number 10 with that heavy fuel load in the race car, and you can see those mediums are still in very good shape. So potentially could see Ishmael start to put some pressure here on Miss Devious if she chooses to continue to go around the track a couple more laps. We have Larry here in 6th place with Death chasing in 7th. We got Jay there in 8th place. And the mid-pack's separating just a little bit, and that's mainly just due to those self-induced incidents we've been seeing here on the track, much like our Pro-Am lobby we just seen live before this race here tonight. Just lots of little self-made mistakes here on this racetrack with this very, very spicy race car. Have a good night, Kelty. Have a good night, bud. So it is Nolander here in 11th position with GVG's Ghost here in 12th place. We got JP here in 13th position. So it is Payme here ripping around this racetrack, and right now trying to open that gap up a little bit here on Lucas369. So he does have that almost to a point where he's got about a second or more here on Lucas, and that is going to break the slipstream. But we are going to see Payme and Lucas both come into pit lane here. So our first set of pit stops is started here with our race leaders. And Dudley on that medium tire obviously is going to continue on around the track here for a little bit longer. How many more laps, we'll have to wait and find out. But he is now going to take over the race lead here as he starts lap number 11. Ishmael's also going to continue on and take over 2nd place, as Ten Tenths Misdevious is also going to come into pit lane there. We've got Larry Birch also coming in. We've got ATK's Death. He is going to stay out. So is Jay. So is TT's Badass. ATB is also going to stay out. Nolander is going to stay out here as well. And we've got Ghost and JP here, just a little bit off the pack here again, just having a tough day here at the racetrack right now. Trailing the pack right now, but again, with 15.5 minutes remaining, or only gone in the 50-minute race, there's still 34 minutes and some change left to go here. Another set of pit stops. Anything can happen here. We've already seen drivers make those little mistakes. We've seen the cars fight back with those tank slappers here today. So anything can happen here yet in this race, and it's still very young and very early here in our event this evening. So Dudley doing a great job here right now in the race lead, as Lucas and Payme made a pit stop just last lap there in front of him, so he got that uncontested there. And now the job is really to try and take advantage of the open air and the fact that he's got no pressure in behind him. And Ishmael is there, but he's not close enough to really put any immediate pressure on him. So good for Ishmael here as well. These two can just continue on working on putting in the fastest, cleanest laps they can on those medium tires, and hope that they can make up that time come to the end of the race on these drivers who will obviously potentially be on the medium tire at the end of the race here. So some different strategies already being played out here on the racetrack. So Death comes out in behind Payme and Lucas369. So it just kind of goes to give you an idea how feisty that mid-pack's been here early on in the race. They've already lost that much time to the front pack here as we've gone around here, and these battles cost time, especially here at Fuji, because battles tend to take a large amount of time here on the racetrack. Sometimes they can go for multiple corners or even 1 or 2 sectors before you can get the pass done because it's so technical here, and that can really cost you 2 or 3 seconds in a lap sometimes. So we've got Jay here in 6th with 10 tenths Misdevious here in 7th place just in behind. We've got ATB here in 8th place with Nolander in 9th. We got Larry here in 10th. Badass now making his pit stop. We got JP coming in for a pit, and Ghost made a pit stop last lap there, so he's out on fresh rubber here as well. But it is Dudley still leading this race here on lap number 12. Now he does have a pit stop to make here, so some of the drivers essentially a pit stop in hand right now over Dudley and Ishmael, but they will at some point, when it is desired, they will make that pit stop here, and I'm assuming it's going to be right around at the 14, maybe 13, 14 lap mark here. So within the next couple laps, I suspect we'll probably see our medium tire runners start to come in. Ishmael's going to continue on as well, but that leaves Payme here. Payme is about 5, maybe 6 seconds in behind Ishmael and Dudley right now on that medium tire, and Payme already has made that first pit stop. Hi over here on the red site. Appreciate you. We got Padley coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Much love. Appreciate you. Welcome in. Ooh, and a big moment right there from Payme in 3rd place there. He got on that curb and got on the power there, and it absolutely just sent the back end of that car sliding out a little bit, but he does a great job of recovering the car there, and maybe only cost himself a tenth or two there on Lucas 369. So Stevie is up into 5th place. He was just made around Jay set there. Now Death and Jay also battling it out there for 6th place, and Death is going to get the job done there. And I remember watching this happen live last night. That was actually a really beautiful over-under move made there by ATK Death as J-Set went deep into the corner defending, and ATK Death made a great over-under pass to get around TT J-Set here. But you can see this battle is not over between these two here. We are side by side now, and this is still a battle for 5th place here. 6th place here between the two drivers, and Jay's going to get the job done there coming into the double sweeper here leading into the hard braking zone chicane. So J-Set is going to move ahead of ATK's Death for the time being here in the 6th place. That puts Death very close behind him right there in the 7th position. Got Nolander here in 8th place with Larry Birch in 9th position. We got ATB here in 10th place. We got Badass in 11th position. We got Ghost here in 12th place, and JP running our field here in 13th position. So everybody is moving and grooving at a very, very quick rate of speed here. Dudley making a little bit of a mistake coming into turn 1 there. He got really, really deep into the corner, into the marbles there, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time here as Payme is, again, very quickly tracking in behind him here. The gap is about 5 seconds between Payme and Dudley. Lucas 369 here is in 3rd place, and that gap between him and Payme right now is about 10 seconds, maybe a hair more. We've got 10 tenths Misdevious here up into 4th position. We've got J-Set here up into 5th place with ATK's Death there in 6th position, and that battle not over here, I'm sure, between these two. You can see separated here by about 3/4 of a second right now on the racetrack. But Ishmael now, after his pit stop, is very close in behind these two here as well in 7th position. Nolander's here in 8th, a little bit of a gap between him and that pack up in front, but right now it's Larry Birch trying to track down in 9th place in behind, and that gap is about 2.5 to 3 seconds right now. We've got RA's ATB and 10 Tenths Badass here in 10th and 9th position here as well, and not an immediate battle here, but fairly close together. I'm going to say about 2 seconds separating those two drivers here right now as we enter into this very long sweeping corner. Badass are in 11th place trying to chase ATB down. We've got Ghost here. He is a few seconds in behind here right now with JP, about 5 seconds in behind him. So those two have definitely got some work to do. If they can close in on each other, though, they can start to work together, do a little bump drafting, slipstreaming here. That could make a difference for those two in gaining some time back up on this racetrack here today as well. But it is Payme here with the overall race lead here, and a pretty good gap right now to Lucas 369 here in 2nd place. I'm going to say that's a solid, that's got to be a 10 to 12 second gap here right now on the racetrack. So Payme working hard at opening that gap up on Lucas 369, because if you guys have noticed on the screens, our leader is on a 2nd set of soft tires, and Lucas 369 has opted to take that middle stint on his mediums. So that means that he's going to be coming out on the soft tire, and Payme is going to be coming out on the medium tire in the final stint. pending that rain does not interfere with this race. Ishmael here in 4th place now, so he has moved up a position, obviously with some pit stops being made. We have Dudley there in 5th place chasing, with Nolander in 6th place. Larry's now moved up into 7th position. We have Jay just coming out of pit lane here, and he's got, I believe that was ATB on hot traffic coming around there. So the deal is that the pit lane driver does own the inside part of turn 1. If they come out side by side there, he does not, or she does not need to let up or give any positioning up coming out of pit lane. This is a battle after all for overall race position between these drivers, and they are allowed to race to the corners. So the pit lane driver, so the driver coming out of pit lane in that situation, does own the inside apex of that corner, and the driver that's coming down to start and finish line at speed does need to take that corner on the outside. So that is the deal here with our racing conditions and pit exit here this week. So Death there in 10th place, very close and behind, a Badass right there in 11th place as well. So 4 or 5-way pack starting to kind of grow together here again in the middle part of this field, but it is Payme with a pretty big gap right now over Lucas 369. He's got a decent sized gap here over Misdevious right now in 3rd place, and Ishmael tracking here in 4th place. Is about 7, maybe 8 seconds in behind Miss D right now, and Dudley fairly close in behind him. He's about 2.5, 3 seconds right now in behind Ishmael. And we got the next group of drivers here of Nolander and Larry is quickly tracking in on Nolander here as we come into turn number 1, to the point where Larry is almost on his bumper here as we come into turn number 1. And that gap is very quickly closing. So let's sit with this here for a moment, because Larry seems to be closing in on Nolander quite quickly here as we head through the kink. The gap is diminishing there. It's got to be about half a second, 4/10 of a second tops here between the two drivers, and a mistake made there by Nolander into the kink there. He got really wide there and had to kind of square off the corner in a sense to make the corner, and Larry's going to take a look up the inside, the over-under here on the better tires right now, and Larry is going to go ahead and grab that position on Nolander here for 6th place. So we kind of figured that was coming there as Larry was gaining on Nolander very, very quickly there. But here we go again, back in this mid-pack here. It is ATB, TT's J-Set, and ATK's Death here, nose to tail for 8th place between the 3 drivers here right now, and potentially nope, Badass is about 2 seconds off the back of these guys here, so not quite a 4-way battle for the position here currently, but definitely an active 3-way battle. And looks like Jay goes a little bit wide into the corner there, and Death is not able to take advantage. He's just going to close up that distance between himself and Jay Set there, and he's going to see if he can make it up here coming out of the final corner. And Death gets a great run coming out of the final corner there on TT's J Set. He couldn't quite get around him there on the run. He's going to have to tuck back into the slipstream here, but I would assume we're going to see Death pull out for a move into turn number 1 here, as we're getting near the braking zone here now, and this is about the time you're going to see that driver make it where, yep, and Death is going to go up the inside on TT's J Set here, and Jay was thinking about doing a little over-under there, but Death, obviously that was been his move here today. He's done it a couple of times and blocked that off just dandy as he went through the apex of turn number 1 there, and holds position from J-Set, but it is Payme here in 1st place, and he is pushing hard to continue to open that gap here on Lucas 369. But perhaps a little mistake made there, as Lucas 369 seems to be closing in on Payme a little bit. Misdevious here is in 3rd place, and I believe that gap is also dwindling between her and Lucas in 2nd place there as well. So things are starting to close up a little bit here up in the front end of our pack, as well as we near the midway part of our race. Ishmael here in 4th place. He's got a little bit of a gap right now, but he is in clean air. He's on good, fresh, soft tires. He's got low fuel load. He is in a good position right now on this racetrack to do exactly what he needs to do, make up time before that final stint. Dudley here in 5th place, trying to track in on Ishmael, but Ishmael's been doing a good job at slowly but surely just opening that gap up to Dudley here in behind him in 5th place. Got Larry here up in 6th position. and he's got no immediate pressure, and up in front of him he's got a little bit of a gap as well, so he's in much of the same position here right now. He can really take advantage of some clean air and try to put in some really quality fast laps on those medium tires, and we got this active battle here between these three still, and it's going to be Death now to slot up ahead of ATB, so Death now going to take over 7th place here from ATB. ATB is going to settle right back in behind him here as we come through the kink, and you can see Jason's just a little bit off these two here, about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, so currently right now just a two-way battle here for 6th place, but definitely potential for this to turn back into a three-way battle. As you can see, JSET is trying to close back in on these two here as we head around that hairpin. And oh boy, just everywhere we look on this racetrack here right now, we got little groups of cars looking to squabble it out for position here. So let's just keep rolling through our field here and see what we see. We got Nolander coming out of pit lane here, and he's got Paymay, our race leader, coming in on him here as well. So about to go a lap down potentially is Nolander, but he took a very, very long first stint there, so that was a 18 lap stint on those medium tires, so potentially maybe going for a one-stop strat here today is Nolander. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out there if that's the case, as he's still got about 22 minutes left on the clock here to run those soft tires. So it's Lucas here in 2nd place, and 10 Tenths Mischievous is really tracking here, so let's sit with this for a moment as this is a battle for 2nd position overall here on the racetrack as we are nearing our 28-minute mark, which gives us 22 minutes left to go. And Mischievous has absolutely closed in on Lucas 369 here, and as we head into the chicane, she's going to grab that inside position, and she's going to get 2nd place there from Lucas 369. Fairly uncontested there, it looks like, as Lucas just settled in, knew that she potentially is on a tire advantage, and just stayed off the a defensive line there to let her through and maybe tuck in and try to use her to gain potentially on the leader up in front. But she does make a little mistake there, and he's going to take a look back up the inside there, but she gets a good run on those soft tires there, and Lucas's medium tires just don't quite have the answer there for those soft tires on that big run, and a little slide coming out of the final corner there, and Mischievous is going to start to check out a little bit there away from Lucas 369, and that's now brought Ishmael Truth into the mix here too as well, as he has been tracking in on these two here over the last couple laps, and he is definitely much closer to Mischievous and Lucas now than he was a couple laps ago. And you can see Dudley is just off in the background here as well, so the drivers are starting to close back in on each other here again up front. Got Larry here in 6th place, and again, he was in no man's land there, but now he's kind of under fire here. He had a pretty decent little gap here to that mid-pack battle, and now Death is closing in on him, and along is JSET and ATB here, so a little bit of separation between all the drivers there. Badasser falling off this pack just a little bit more as well. That leaves Ghost here up in 11th place. We got JP here now in 12th place, and Nolander in 13th position. That would have been a lengthy pit stop having to take a full load of fuel there if he is attempting that one-stop strategy. So Nolander is a little bit out of sequence in a sense compared to these drivers until they stop for their second pit stop. That's kind of when the one-stop strategy will come back into sequence with the two-stop strategy. It's just, is the one-stop strategy really a stronger play here at Fuji with how aggressive that the racetrack is on these racing tires in these technical sectors? Now, it is noted that we have gone from those nice sunny conditions here so far throughout our race to the track is starting to cool down a little bit, and the wind has changed slightly here as well. Right now we've got 9 meters directly from the east here on the racetrack, so the wind is actually pushing against the passenger side of these drivers when they are under braking into turn 1, and then as they enter into the apex of turn 1 here, that wind is actually giving them a little push on the nose and potentially helping them slow down, but it could also be throwing the drivers out a little bit here. And Lucas 369 gets a good run coming out of the inside of turn number 1 there. He's going to challenge second place here again on Mischievous, but Mischievous is going to take that inside line through the kink there, and he's going to hold him off here, but he's going to get back on the inside now through the sweeper here, and we're side by side here for second place, and Ishmael in 4th place there going, yes, battle you two, I am right here. I need just a couple more side by side corners and we can turn this into a 3-way fight for second place here. But this is a great battle here right now between Ten Tenths Misdevious and Lucas369 and Ishmael here as well. So Paymay here in the race lead. It's Misdevious here, Misdevious in second, Lucas in third, and Ishmael here in fourth place. I got distracted. I got a call. Sorry, I had to see who it was. We got Dudley there in fifth place. You know how it is. You hear your phone ring. It's just force out of it. We've got ATK's Death here in sixth place. We got Jay here in seventh. We got Larry here in eighth. We got ATB here in ninth place. We got Badass in 10th. We got Ghost here in 11th. We got JP here in 12th. And we got Nolander here in 13th position. So less than 20 to go here now. And Paymay is making that final pit stop here today. So in pit lane, now I guess the question is when the rest of our drivers going to make their pit stops here. We got Lucas is good to stay out. Obviously, he's on the medium tire here, so we'll probably see a little bit of a longer stint coming from Lucas in the middle part of this race. But now Ishmael closing in very quickly here in second place. So Lucas does have to race lead back, but Ishmael is only about 3/4 of a second in behind here right now in second place, and Dudley here in third place as well. But he's got about 4 or 5 seconds right now to the race leaders. Paymay is going to come out in fourth place. Where is the rest of the pack here? We've got ATK's Death coming in fifth. We've got JSEC coming out here in sixth place as well, and Misdevious is going to slot into seventh place here after her pit stop. We got ATB and Larry Birch here in eighth and ninth place as well coming out, and this is very quickly potentially turning into a 5-6 way battle here for fifth and sixth place. We got Badass here in 10th. We got Ghost coming in for a pit stop here. We got JP here out on track in 12th place, and we got Nolander here in 13th position. So it is Lucas369 and a big slide as he comes around the corner there, and he has Ishmael starting to close in here. So Ishmael is on the faster tire compound here right now as well, in behind Lucas369, and they look quite good still. So he does have the potential to try and put some pressure here on Lucas for the remainder of this second stint here. We'll have to see how it all plays out, but we got Dudley here. He's working hard at track and in behind, and we do have somebody coming out of pit lane there. I'm not sure who it is. I think it might be Ghost. Alright, so it's Paymay here in fourth place. We've got ATK's Death up in fifth. He's got TT's J-Set very close in behind there in sixth place as well. And a big slide there from Death as he comes around the corner there. And Jay is going to get the run here. Update towards the start-fifth line, and it's a drag race to the line here, and it is going to be Jay as they come across the line. So that does have him clocked in at fifth place here. But as we head into turn number 1 here, let's see which one of the two drivers is going to get the job done. And Death outbreaks TT's J-Set going into turn number 1 on the outside of the entry, and he's going to get the position back on J-Set there and take fifth place back away from TT's J-Set. Now Misdevious here in 7th place just in behind, watching all that action happen as she's trying to close in to make that a 3-way battle herself. We've got ATB here in 8th place, Badass making his final stop. We got Larry making his final stop. It looks like we got JP making his final stop here. Nolander is in 12th position. We got Ghost tucked right up in behind somebody there in 13th position. Not sure who it is there. I think that might be Ishmael and Lucas there that's just gotten around GVG Ghost there, and that is the case. But again, these drivers are out of pit stop sequence here, and Lucas is coming into pit lane here, and so is Ishmael, and so is Dudley. So Ghost will get that lap back from those guys as they make their final pit stop. So that should give Paymay the race lead back here as well in 4th place. We have ATK's Death here in 5th. We've got J-Set here in 6th, and he's still putting all kinds of pressure here on ATK's Death right now as they come around the corner. Misdevious just comes out of the final corner, is just in behind it. Again, front row seat to this battle in front of her right now for what is now looking like 2nd place. We'll have to wait and see where everybody comes out on the racetrack here. We got Lucas, we got Ishmael coming out of pit lane, we got Jay and Death battling for position, we got Dudley coming out of pit lane, Misdevious coming down the track in behind here as well, and this is very quickly became a 6-way battle for the podium positions here nearing the end of this race. We have 14 minutes 20 seconds left in this race. We got a 3-second penalty there for Larry Perch. That is going to hurt his charge here in the race today. We got Badass in 10th, we got Nolander in 11th, we got JP in 12th, we got Ghost here in 13th position. Whew, these pros are keeping us busy here today. This is a rebroadcast. That's correct, Nigel. That's correct. This race was ran last night. The stream was just we were having technical issues and we couldn't get it live last night. So this was actually ran Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. This is our pro division. They start us off every week. And this is just a replay of that race so we can get it out to our viewers, make sure they don't miss any of that great action. But it is Paymay here in the race lead right now. The gap is roughly, where's Lucas? I'm going to say 8 to 10 seconds right now here between first and second place. So the pit stop sequences have all come out. So let's take a look here. We've got Paymay on the racing medium tire. He's got a little over 3/4 of a tank of fuel in his Toyota here right now. We've got Lucas 369 just came out on a fresh set of soft tires. So now we've seen this from this driver all season long. The charge is on to see if he could catch first place. He's got a gap to make up. It's about 12 seconds. Let's see if he can do it. Ishmael right there in tow in third place here as well. This driver has been flying here as he's settled into this series as well. He's got himself a podium already this season, looking for a second one. We've got Dudley here. He's been up in the top end of this field all season long, looking for another podium for himself here today as well. Got 10 Tenths Misdevious here in 5th place, and she's trying to track in on Dudley there in 4th place up ahead of her and try to better her position here on the track for her best race finish this season as well. So ATK Death is coming out of pit lane. He is going to come out ahead of TT's J Set there in 7th place, but the two still only separated by about a second on the racetrack right now. ATB and Larry Birch, much of the same thing. They're only separated by about a second on the track. They've got similar tires and fuel going on there, so potential good battle, but 10 Tenths Badass closing in here as well in 10th place and behind. I'm going to say about 2.5 seconds right now is that gap. Got Nolander here in 11th position as well. We've got JP here in 12th place, and we've got Ghost rounding out the field. Yep, you are correct, Nigel. You betcha. Alright, we got Ghost coming into pit lane, and the Ghost had a mechanical malfunction in his Toyota GR10 here near the end of the race, and he did have to bring that thing into pit lane, so it is going to be a retirement there for GVG's Ghost last night in the latter part of the race due to mechanical malfunction in his Toyota GR10 hypercar, and hopefully we'll see him back here for our round 5 race next week at Le Mans, and it's a big race at Le Mans next week. We're going to add another 10 minutes to the race time, so it's going to be an hour-long endurance here for our drivers. There will not be any qualifying next week in our mid-season race, as it's going to be a double points round, and it's going to be a reverse grid based off our championship point standing. So our championship points leader will start in last place, and our last place driver in each division will start on pole position. There will not be an available pole position point for our drivers with the reverse grid setup, so that bonus point is pulled off the table in round number 5 and 10. However, that fastest lap point definitely is there and definitely counts for these drivers as well. But the big factor for next week's race for these drivers, and for the drivers that may have had a slow start to the season, maybe Le Mans is a track that they excel at. Double points means a lot. So why double points round? Why not? Give the drivers a chance to make up some points, make up for a bad round of racing, and absolutely send it. You never know what's going to happen when we change up the schedules like that. We throw in a couple of double points rounds throughout the season. It really does change the way that the drivers approach and prepare for those races. So we've got 2 double point rounds this season, and next week is the first of our 2 double point rounds here in the prototype series as well. So it's Nolander here in 10th place. We got Larry in 11th. We got JP in 12th, and again, Ghost, the crew taking a look at that car there. Not sure what was going on with it there, but we did see him have that tank slapper early on in the race there. We did see him make contact there with the wall out of this middle hairpin right there where Paymay just came out of there, and potentially maybe an underlying cause of the mechanical failure in that race car was due to that earlier race incident perhaps. We've seen a couple drivers have issues with tank slappers here today. TT's Badass also having a tank slapper right in the middle of a great active battle there, causing him some position on the track as well. But it is Paymay in the race lead. It's Lucas 369 in second place. He is tracking here on Paymay, and that gap is slowly starting to come down here with 19 minutes remaining in the race. So it is Ishmael here in third place, and he is starting to lose touch with Lucas369 just a little bit here. But boy, oh boy, is Dudley coming here in fourth place. So Dudley has done a great job at working back up to Ishmael Truth here to try and battle for that final podium position. But boy, that sky is looking dark. The clouds have set in. It's getting a little bit foggy there as we head towards turn number 1. And you can see the mountains are getting very hazy off in the distance here. So maybe a weather system starting to potentially move in here. The wind is slightly changing directions here and there on the racetrack right now. It's going to be very interesting to see how this race shapes up here for our pros tonight. But it is Jay here currently sitting in 6th place with ATK's Death in 7th. We got ATB here in 8th place, and behind those two, TT's Badass chasing here in 9th position. That's got Nolander here up in 10th position, and Larry Birch chasing here in 11th place. We've got JP here in 12th position, and again, Ghost looking like a retirement here today with that car in pit lane. And it happens, us racing. Hey, we appreciate it, Nigel. We appreciate it. I know you guys, definitely know you guys understand over there, GT champions. That's for sure, my guy. I know you guys understand that all too well. All too well. We feel bad as broadcasters and league organizers when we don't get our broadcasts out. Does that mean sometimes it's just things that are beyond our control? There's nothing we can do about it. But you know, if there's some way that we can still get the action out to the viewers, that's what's important. And I mean, it's important for the racers too. The racers look forward to watching the broadcasts, and it's it sucks when you're the commentator or the league organizer and you're missing a broadcast or a hole in your series, you know. So we just do the best we can. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We got Ishmael here in 3rd place. We've got Dudley here in 4th position. We've got Ten Tenths Simracing here in 5th. We've got Death here in 6th place. And he has gotten back around TT's J set here as well. So a good battle happening here between these two. And this has been pretty much a race-long battle here between the two guys. So it is still on between these two here for 6th and 7th place right now. ATB's fallen a little bit out of this battle here, but he's not that far off of it. A little mistake or a little bit of contact as those two are fighting with each other up there, and he is right back in that battle. And he is bringing 10 Tenths Badass right along for the ride here in 9th place. So it's Larry Birch in 10th. We got Nolander rocking here in 11th. JP in 12th, and again Ghost in pit lane there. So tough race day there for UD Ghost, but that's all right. It happens to the best of us, doesn't it, folks? Alright, so it is Payme here, and he is now got 16, just a little over 16 minutes left on this clock here, and you can see in the background there is Lucas369. So Lucas is starting to track a little bit here on our race leader. He is quite a ways in the distance there. It's just a set of headlights right now in behind our race leader, but that gap was 12 seconds, and now that gap is down to about 6. So Lucas369 very quickly closing in on our race leader Payme here. And again, tire difference playing a big factor here in this right now. As you can see, when Lucas coming into turn 1 there, he can now see Payme. It's like a shark and blood in the water. He smells it, and it is game on here now as he's trying to track down that race leader with just under 16 minutes to go. Ishmael here in 3rd place, and he is still under some pressure here from Dudley in 4th place as well. Now again, this is overall 3rd place battle here between these two, and Dudley's been doing a great job of tracking back in on Ishmael here throughout this final stint. Ishmael doing a great job at keeping that gap just far enough where Dudley can't try and take a moment to get a move in on him here. But boy, this is really closing up here between these two drivers as we are again progressing towards the end of our race here. We have 10 Tenths Misdevious in 5th place. We've got ATK Death and Jay here side by side as we head through turns number 1 and 2. And again, Death is going to hold it on the outside, so he has been doing a fantastic job here in this race, especially corner 1, grabbing positions here. And it has been a dogfight between TT's J-Set and ATK's Death here tonight on the racetrack. It's ATB here in 8th place and 10 Tenths Badass closing in here in 9th place as well. He's been tracking lap by lap here, and he's got it down to just over a second, it looks like there. Larry Birch here in 10th place, and he is got nobody in the near vicinity here right at the moment, so he's just got to keep focusing on getting good clean laps in here. We got Nolander in 11th, JP in 12th place, and we got Ghost Still trying to figure out what's going on with that racing car. Alright, so let's get back to our race leader here as he picks up a half-second track limit penalty. That is definitely not what our race leader was looking for here. I believe we have some lap traffic up ahead there, and we do. We have JP just up ahead of our race leader here as well. So things are getting interesting here as we're nearing into the end of our race. 4 minutes left on the clock. It's a 50-minute race, not a 60. So we have about 3 laps to go here from our race leaders right now, and that gap is, I'm going to say 3 seconds between Lucas and Payme right now. Ishmael and Dudley here in 3rd and 4th place, and Dudley has absolutely closed in here on Ishmael as well, and it is battle on here for all podium positions as we get towards the end of the race. I don't even know which battle to watch right now. I think we need to watch Ishmael and Dudley here at the moment as they are nose to tail here heading into the final corner. Dudley's going to take a look up the inside here to the second last corner. Can he get the job done? It's still side-by-side action. Ishmael doing a great job holding the outside line. And here we go into the final corner. Ishmael, can he defend it? Dudley's going to look for a big run here. He gets a little wiggle on the power, and Ishmael for the time being is going to hold the position. You can see him break the toe there. Let's get back up front. Payme, Lucas 369 here for the race lead. We have 3 minutes on the clock, and it is on. These guys are all across the racetrack trying to break each other's slipstream, trying to make sure that there is no way for Lucas to get around him here, and they are separated by half a car length. Lucas is going to take a look, can't get in there. He's going to settle back in behind the race leader. Now we have our 12th place driver coming into the mix here as well as we head around the sweeper here, and we're going to have a blue flag situation while we have the battle for the race lead going on all at the same time here. And a big moment there for Payme, but he keeps the car underneath him. A great job there from Lucas to stay out of the side of Payme, and another big slide there from Payme, and there it is. That's what Lucas was waiting for, the big moment there. He gets the opportunity, he gets in beside Payme, but Payme does have the inside line. Lucas is going to take the outside line. I think he's going to look for a good, hard line coming out of the S's here and try and get a charge on Payme. And again, they still have JP up in front of him here. We still got this battle happening right here between Dudley and Ishmael as well, but we really need to keep our eye on this race lead right now because this is definitely the active battle here on the racetrack, and these guys have been keeping us busy here these last 2 laps, and there it is. JP is now in to the mix here, so Payme is working on getting around JP, and Lucas needs to get around JP very quickly here if he wants to have a shot at Payme, and he is going to get up in beside JP, but JP drag racing Lucas 369 down the straight here, and this is not good for Lucas as JP is in the toe of the leader, and now Lucas is going to use JP to try and keep up the speed here. He's going to sling back out. Payme is going to move ahead of JP here to cut the toe off from Lucas, and here we go into turn number 1, and we got a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, and I think this is going to come down to this one here, but Payme makes the mistake in turn 1, and Lucas 369 is going to take the race lead away from Payme as he makes that mistake, and a little bit of side to side there to try and get those tires nice and warmed up, make sure he's got all the grip coming into the corner, try and maintain this race lead from Payme, and he is currently sitting in first place. So Payme losing the position there to Lucas 369 in a moment there. A big slide there from Payme as he's pushing super hard to try and catch Lucas 369, trying to get the race lead back there, and the tire differences is just too much there for Payme. He's pushing that thing beyond what it can do right now, and he's still keeping that thing moving in a forward direction. This is absolutely great racing right here from Payme and Lucas 369. Let's go see what's happening behind here. Ishmael and Dudley are still separated by about 3/4 of a second. Whew. That's some hard racing right now on the racetrack here from this group, and Payme is not out of this yet. He's still in that slipstream range of Lucas 369. If he can get a good run, or if Lucas makes a little mistake here coming out of these final sectors, he has a crack at him here coming into the back straight. What do we got? We got 15 seconds left on the clock. We may see another lap here from our race leaders, and a big slide there again from Payme coming out on the exit, and I believe we got Nolander now up in front of the racers here as well. As we head to the start-finish line, are they going to get another go here? It is going to be another lap for Lucas and Payme. Ishmael as well looking like he's going to get another lap. It is going to be another lap for, and it's going to be a 4th place finish there for Dudley. He is going to take that checkered flag there, so he's not going to get the opportunity for that last lap battle for 3rd place. That is really unfortunate there for Dudley. And it is going to be Miss Devious here to take 5th position here on the racetrack. And that was a great run from her there as well. And it's going to be ATK Death and TTJ set here in 6th and 7th place here as we continue around. And we're going to try and keep our eye on that front pack here as well. Ishmael there may have an opportunity to potentially pick up position as well. So we're just trying to keep our eye on everything that's happening here on the racetrack right now all at the same time. And ATK Death is going to hold off J-Set here for a 6th place finish. It's going to be 7th place for TT's J-Set. ATB is going to come home here in 8th position. And we do have a position change there. Ishmael does get to position there on Paymay. So unfortunately we did miss that pass there. And there's no point in running back now. We can go and see how that all happened after there. But it is going to be Badass here in 9th position. It's going to be Larry Birch bringing it home here in the 10th place. I think our race leaders are right in around where Nolander is here. There's Nolander there. Let's get back up to our race leaders here because I believe that they are heading to the start-finish line, and it is going to be a Round 4 Pro victory for Lucas369 here, independent driver in the series. Absolutely great performance there from him. It's going to be Ishmael's Truth from RA getting that 2nd place finish there from Paymay, and great race there from him. And it is going to be SV's Paymay here to bring it home in 3rd place. Big strategy, just didn't quite work out for him here tonight, but still finding himself in that final podium spot here tonight. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is our race for round number 4 from our pro division. So we won't have podium interviews here from our pro division. It is very, very late at night. I'm surprised that many of you are still here watching. I appreciate it, actually, as I know it's very late. So it's about 12:30 in the morning right now for the drivers that made podium here. So we're not going to do those podium interviews this week. If we catch these drivers in round 5 of the podiums, we'll touch base on this week's race as well with them next week. But really, really great racing here from the pro division. Again, all race long. I mean, what else do you say? Again, we did have a red flag the very first attempt at the race here. It was a multiple car incident in turn 1, so we reset it, and the race that we just saw was the reset race after the red flag call. It was a beauty of a race. Top 5 drivers battling tooth and nail there for those podium positions pretty much all race long, using pit strategy to try and gain more track position on the other driver. And at the end of the day, Lucas369 really just tracked down the leader again on that final soft tire stint and just made an absolute last lap effort for the race win. So we've been seeing a lot of that out of Lucas369 this year. It has been working for him so far, but how long is that strategy going to continue to work for Lucas369 as these drivers are going to continue to be reviewing the tape and seeing what these other drivers around them are doing to try and figure out where they can make up some time, or maybe see what that driver was doing differently compared to them. The difference between the pro division and a lot of the lower divisions, the pro-ams, the AMs, the amateur series, the rookie classes, whatever you want to call them, is that the pros will go back and look at the tape. They'll go back and review the race. They'll go back and see what the guy that or gal that finished ahead of them did a little bit differently than they did, and they'll see if that relates to time loss in their own thing. They may even go back on that combination and run a few laps just to see if they can find improvement based off of what they saw. So the pro drivers are studying each other on a constant from one round of racing to another, and it is really starting to show as the season progresses, because the racing is getting a lot tighter, the strategies are getting a lot more complex, and these drivers are really trying to utilize every little bit of mathematical equation and every bit of knowledge about the car and the tracks that they're on to try and gain the advantage over the next competitor. The standings are really close in the top 3 right now in the pro division as well, which will break out to everybody next week, because of course our lineups are going to be set based off of our championship standings, and it's going to be a reverse grid based off of where our points are from each driver. So I believe it's going to be either Paymay or Lucas369 currently leading the championship coming into round number 5. So one of those two drivers will start at the very back, and then our driver that has the least amount of points coming into next week's round of racing will start in pole position, and it'll go that way for both our lobbies. So that means that most likely we're going to see our AMs start up in the front end of the pack at Le Mans to start round number 5 next week. And again, we are using our dynamic dynamic weather model here for the series, so rain is most certainly potential in Le Mans, and if the track is not already difficult enough as it is, there's always that thought in the back of every team's mind, every driver's mind, that they may have to put some wet tires on, and that could absolutely change the way that the race goes down. And they're really going to have to pay attention to that weather radar, because if you get caught just coming across the start finish line at Le Mans and it starts to rain, you have a very long ways to go before you're going to see that pit entry again, and it is going to be some tough driving. So strategy is going to be key next week for our drivers, and there's no qualifying, so that really is going to play into every single driver strategy for next week. No tire changes. We're going to have the medium racing soft tires still required, but of course the mandate is three racing laps, in laps and out laps included. But if we do see rain hit the 33% marks, that requires the intermediate racing wet tire as per Gran Turismo 7's expectations on wet conditions. That will void the tire mandate. So the reason why we saw so many drivers start on soft tires and run soft mediums in our fourth round of racing here this week was in the anticipation that Fuji is a 50-50 chance to rain throughout the race. So they were banking on the fact that it was going to rain just enough that they would not have to use that medium tire and potentially be able to do 3 soft tire stints. However, it didn't work out that way for our drivers in round 4 of racing this week. As you can see in both races, we had extremely dry conditions, very nice conditions on the racetrack, which ultimately provided for some really great racing on the track. So with that being said, huge congratulations to our top 3 finishers, to SV Payme for 3rd place, and a tough race finish there for him, but managing to hold on to the podium. We had Ishmael Truth from ERA come in with a great 2nd place race drive for him, and he's starting to heat up here in the series, and Lucas 369 for another great racing win performance. Drivers of the day will be announced on the socials and of course on the live streams next week for each of our 3 divisions. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and thank you all for hanging out for the 2nd race tonight. We again apologize for the no stream last night, and again, I know it happens, but to me, I don't like to not be able to get one of my obligations out, and in this case, obviously, our GT45 Prototype Series Challenge race on Monday. So I do apologize to the viewers, especially for those that are anticipating and waiting for those time slots to come up. So next week, we should hopefully be on time and on schedule with everything, and we will continue to work on upgrading that equipment so we don't have these issues as much moving into the future of GT45 Gaming and our racing events and commentary. But we do appreciate everybody hanging out. It was great racing from our Pro-Ams and our AMs to start things off here tonight. Absolutely spicy race there, and we've seen TT's Fast Ginger come in with the overall race win. Dark Cobra coming in for the overall AM race win. We had Tro and Kobe coming there in 2nd place, and Heathen coming in 3rd place there in our Pro-Am division as well. Driver of the days are all decided by myself already. But like I said, stay tuned for the socials. We'll get those stuff out near the weekend for everybody, or obviously when we have our amazing graphic work done by Miss Devious there for those amazing Driver of the Day awards she's been doing this season. So we'd like to thank the administration staff and all the support staff and behind the scenes, our stewarding staff as well. They got to do the tough jobs after the race. So now 24 hours from race time will be the window for drivers to report any incidents that they feel is necessary. From there, that gets sent to our stewarding office. Our stewards will then have 24 hours to assess those reports and get that back to the driving community. From there is an appeals process for drivers. If they feel like the decision is either too harsh or wrong, they can't appeal that. That appeal will then go to an outside set of officials that we use here at GT45 Gaming, another great racing organization group that we work with as well. And they will, of course, make that final decision, and that decision is their decision to make and is a final decision as well. So there is no appeal on the appeal. If there's no appeal, we'll go ahead, we'll jump into Sim League Pro, we'll do our standings up, and drivers will have that available to them by the weekend. So that's kind of how the process works here. And it's a great job by all the staff and behind the scenes. We couldn't do it without them. We can't do it without you guys and gals watching at home, the viewers, to all the young, to all the kids out there. We appreciate you. We hope you love the racing. Racing is fun. It's a family sport in real life. It should be here in the sim world as well. So we appreciate your continued support here at GT45 Gaming. On behalf of 10 Tenths Simracing and GT45 Gaming, I would like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed both of our races, and we are going to do our best to try and get caught up on making our highlight videos. But again, just trying not to overwork our computer too much right now so we can get at least the content out to everybody. Nations Cup tomorrow night here. If everything is running good and smooth here, we will have that live on GT45 Gaming, as I am going to be in that Mazda 787B at Daytona Road Course tomorrow night, racing in the Nations Cup online qualifiers. If I don't catch you then, we'll catch you on the next broadcast, which should be coming up fairly soon. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like and share. I said that already. Thank you for the likes and shares for those that have done so already. If you're new to the page and you're enjoying the content, you want to see more great sim racing content like this, hit that follow or subscribe button, hit the little bell notification, turn on all those live notifications, and you should never miss another great action here on the racetrack. If you want to take it a step further, you really want to see what goes on behind the scenes, you really want to get involved on another level, jump into the GT45 Gaming Discord server. We have those invites posted all over our socials. It's on the 10 Tenths website as well, at ttsimracing.com, and you can find all that information there. You can also find us over on Sim League Pro at GT45 Gaming community there. We also have Discord invite placed there for you to get into the server, or just ask me and we'll send you one. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And remember, y'all matter. Stay winning. It's free to be kind to others. I'm taking that from Team Rad's Petrolhead. I think that is great. And I think that it needs to be said more often. And, you know, I challenge everybody at some point this week to do one act of kindness to one random stranger. And if you can do that this week, you have done a good deed for your own community. We appreciate you. That makes you an absolute legend, just like our racers right here at GT45 Prototype Challenge. With that being said, we'll send you out with some legendary music. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Appreciate the winner's circle.
Inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, no, just you watch. I'm stepping into fate, there is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me, this is how legends are made. Cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit. Step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle. This is how legends are made. Like iron from the fire.